Ladies and gents, welcome to Haboob. And we've got game number 1 in what should be an awesome best of 7 here quarterfinal. We've got Hera playing as the Franks here in the blue. And then we have Lierey, who recently joined a new team called Warlords, playing as the Incas. These two, of course, former teammates. They are now enemies. Yes, that's right. They hate each other now. No, they're still great friends. And they just are on different teams at this point. Happy for Lierey and for Hart, who both joined Wii Sports. Also happy to see a new org getting interested in the scene. And we'll see. I think from what they announced, it's just going to be those two. We'll see what that means for the scene. So, Incas for Lierey here. And we just kind of brought up the history. So, there was a period of time where it was every time Hera and Lierey played against each other, it was must-watch Age of Empires 2. It was like, whatever it was best of, it would always go to the final game, whether that be best of 5 or best of 7. That period was about a year and a half ago, ranged for about maybe a year. And that period is kind of falling off a little bit in people's minds. Hera 4-0ing and pretty much stomping Lierey in the Hidden Cup 5 finals. And then the big S-tier tournament they played prior to that was Warlords 2, where Hera won 4-1. Hera brings this sense of control and inevitability now compared to Lierey, and that's, I think, because Hera's spent so much time on the game. He's really setting the bar right now for what could be achieved in the game, compared to Lierey, who's working a full-time job and, living life and all that. And, maybe there's some other factors involved, but the reality is the last time they played each other, the last 11 sets they played each other, Hera has been the victor, no matter how close some of those sets may have been. So we'll see if that changes today. Hera's gone for the Franks, and players are really close together here on Haboob. So the expectation from Franks is going to be scouts. And Lierey loves his archers, which the Incas could do quite well. You also have the food discount on any spearmen. So I think heavy spearman play against the Franks to open it up would make a lot of sense here for Lierey. So both players choosing to chop the lumber circle. That's close to the TC, not taking the risk to go to the backside. Gold positions for both players, pretty good. Hera's going to love the stone and gold back here. But still pretty solid for Lierey as well. The main stone's obviously not. Someone says the title is wrong for the stream. If the title's wrong for the stream, mod should be able to update that. I didn't do that myself, so. But yes, what you're seeing is correct. Hera against Lierey in the quarterfinals of Warlords 3, and it's been a really good tournament so far. We'll see what type of start these two have. In Hidden Cup, Hera started incredibly strong. I remember as the host, I was a little disappointed by the lack of fight that who we then found out later, Lierey showed after Hera was off to a strong start. But there's just always that sense. It's like if this guy in the blue gets ahead of you, you're not really going to come back. And I said before this, I think you gotta try and push that out of your head, right? Guys, have you ever seen more spears and skirms in a tournament before? Eric Quickwall. Yeah, nice job. Waits for the last second. Gets the gate up. Just really wants to weaken that eagle. Nice micro from Lierey, though. Could have been worse here. And does get worse here, actually, as he, for whatever reason, stays close to the town center. We've seen a lot of spears and skirms. It's like on all the maps where they're close quarters, we've seen civilizations that do this well. Byzantines, Lithuanians, Incas have the food discount on both spears and skirms, so technically that's a good civ for it. And, yeah, it's not really meant to kill you right away, but it's meant to smother you. Whereas the scout build here from Hera, that's meant to move out there and kill some villagers. Yeah, old school 2001 tournaments had a lot more skirms and spears, but back then it was like 500 ping, and players were... I mean, I don't know what the best of the best back in 2001 would be. I'm sure they'd still be pretty high elo, but probably wouldn't be able to compete with, let's say, the top 100 or... Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's a video idea to go look back at that stuff and try and guess where I think they'd be. But it used to be forwards. People would always go forward, but you don't have to go forward to do that here because you're just right next to each other, right? That's where the strategy becomes strong. So Lierey a little sloppy here, but he's distracted. And Hera didn't notice the spearman either, to be honest. And so 2 weak spears here for Lierey, and he's happy for now just to have pushed Hera off of the berries. So, kind of a funny start, honestly. Hera's just going to use his own skirms here to try his best to kill the spearman here from Lierey. And it should be an easy clear up if that's the case. And these spears are just so weak. And Hera's been so patient. And feels like a lot hasn't really happened so far this game, but a lot has happened. And this is going to be a full clear up here from Hera. And Hera's going to have to work hard today, I'm sure. But this was like the easiest start ever. Like Lierey just had nothing there. Didn't really consider an eagle in the mix. And Hera could just go right back to his berries. And yeah, that was 6-0 KD here. I mean, the trash opening's good, but you need to continue to get units forward there. And I think that's what Lierey struggled with. Look how many units he has back at home right now. Now suddenly it gets difficult for Hera to focus down those spears because Lierey has the skirms there. So the Incas have a discount on this. They're going to be able to keep this coming. I will say, it is a little bit difficult for me to hype up a skirm spear war. I mean, oh my god, guys. The villagers are going to die in 8 more volleys. Nice job from Hera here to pick off a reinforcement. This is what you could do. If you know he's sending units 1 by 1 and you've got 4 scouts, you could always take a spear and you can always take a skirm like that. Hera did lose a skirmisher here. Big, big action. But yeah, Lierey, I think now we're starting to see him dialed in a little bit more. The first army going down was rough. But now he's got the skirm numbers to be able to surpass whatever Hera has. Is on his gold now, and Hera's just going to go forward. Hera's like, okay, you have spears and skirms. It's not going to kill me right away. You can't immediately force any type of damage here. What I think would be interesting from Hera is to maybe bring the skirms forward and co-kill these spears. And then the scouts could kill everything. But, you know, in the back of his mind, he might be thinking that he needs to get to Castle Age. And to get to Castle Age, he needs to get this gold. Lierey just awkwardly tickling the villagers off the farms here. We're going to see a lot of awkward movements here for these spearmen, though. Because Lierey's going to need to engage. Hera's going to go in, like he's going to hit the spears. The spears are going to go in after the scouts. And then Hera tries to use the skirms. But Lierey almost has to expect that that's going to be the case and just never bite. Yeah, you see how he never really stopped to go after the scouts here? There he does. He does have more spears and skirms behind this, guys. This isn't over. Remember, it's discounted for the Incas. And Hera is going to be like, how many spears does this guy have? No blacksmith yet for Lierey is a little surprising. So Hera's skirms are stronger than his. But maybe the name of the game is to make enough trash units so you could just make it to Castle Age faster. Have this army protect you and hold the map and make it to the next stage. But Hera, he hasn't had as many skirms, but he's been very patient here. And this could get out of hand fast. Like, Lierey's trying to get to Castle Age, so he could probably go for Eagles or something. He hasn't clicked yet, right? So it takes 3 minutes. It's so risky to do this. Which is why I think cutting the upgrades is maybe something Lierey might live to regret here. He's going to drop the market, though. He's going to drop the tower. Perfectly timed, honestly. Maybe perfect's the wrong word as he loses 1 villager, but now Hera has to move away from the tower, and there goes Lierey. You'll notice, immediately, Lierey goes for Eagles in queue. And Hera, dropping the market back at home, knows this is a race to Castle Age. Perfect timing from him, and he's going to sell his res. And he's going to be up right behind him. So, the thing right now that I see as a big problem for Lierey is, and actually Stonewalls is huge here, is that Hera's army could still get value. I think Hera might even just... It might make sense to sit here and attack the barracks. Like, if you get forging, that barracks is going to go down pretty quick. And all Hera wants is to find as many engagements as possible against Lierey right now. It feels weird that, like, this is the value you're trying to get. But there is no fight available to Lierey where he could win right now if he doesn't have fletching and he doesn't have more eagles. So, he is trying to drop more barracks. He is getting the blacksmith. But the risk of this eagle play for someone like Hera would be if it hits you before you can get knights. Hera 30 seconds off the pace. So we'll really only have to deal with that first wave of eagles. And we talked about inevitability in Hidden Cup, right? And honestly, I think the word inevitable could describe how Hera's performed recently in general, not even against like how he played in against Lierey there. I mean, all of Hidden Cup he was like that. People kind of expecting the same in Warlords, and he just dives right underneath the TC. It's 21 to 6 KD. And Lierey's going to have 3 eagles here, guys. And Lierey probably has to deal with this. Otherwise, the army could harass him, and that's exactly what Hera wants. Hera will be happy to see these eagles here. If these eagles are running to his base, you could have some problems, but by the time the eagles make it over there, Hera's prepped on 2 stables to make knights. And it was just kind of a... It was just a bit of a weird opening, right? We've seen instances where other people go spears and skirms in this game, and you look at it and you say, this looks great. This didn't look so great. Hera kills all the eagles. He's in Castle Age. He'll be making knights, and this is just... Lierey's in a rough spot. The right play for Lierey from here is to go monks if you're expecting to be up against only knights. And Hera, after that engagement, feels like he could drop the second TC, which is good. Hera might want to TC the woodline. If not, a new lumber camp would make sense. That's the only thing I could really say about his position right now. We're not really seeing any real negatives for him beyond that. It's been just a horrible start to the series for Lierey. And spears going down. And Lierey is desperate, folks. I think this monk... No, don't lose the monk to skirms. This monk's going to find it difficult to make it over there because Hera still has the skirms. Knight's going this way. Hera will probably lose a knight to a conversion. Might even lose another knight to a conversion. Might even lose another knight to a conversion. Okay. 3 knights for Lierey. And now the knights from Lierey can actually kill off the skirms. And remember... Lierey hasn't lost a lot of vills. He's lost a lot of army, but army can be pretty cheap with the Incas. He's mainly lost villagers here. Sorry, he's mainly lost army. He hasn't lost villagers. Sorry. Trying to think about the next step in this game. Lierey going full monks. I mean, Hera probably needs to shift back into Lightcav here, but really nice job for Lierey to get those conversions. Hera maybe felt like he's close to winning this game, and so he went for the kill there. 2 TCs for Hera. Still no more scouts in queue. Making a monastery now. Might honestly need to make a couple monks to convert the knights. Type a 1 in chat if you've played, at least from what you feel, pretty much close to perfect in games and still died to all-in eagles before. Sorry you have to admit this in front of so many. I personally have had that happen. They're annoying, and monks as well should be included in the conversation, but oh, Lierey's so distracted here, loses the monk. Also, the relic just popped all the way over there. Lierey does convert another knight, but he loses 2 monks. He was distracted trying to quick wall here and chase down these knights. Still 2 TC booming here for Hera. Hera with the quick walls. No monks just yet. He may actually just be hoping to get devotion if he's up against so many monks from Lierey here. Lierey's going to be up to 6 monks soon. Lierey's going to be at 6 monks. And it is 9 knights for Hera. That would be a ridiculous swing. I think you have to get devotion. I also think Hera has to make sure that he continues to mine stone here. He is pulling some of the vills off to farm, which is standard in some situations. But I think you stop with that. And I think you just got to get a defensive castle down. Hera gets another... monk kill. But over here, I think he just lost more knights. There's 6 knights for Lierey right now, guys. And he's gonna have 9 monks. Hera also isn't able to get the kill there. I think this is dangerous for Hera. This is actually a dangerous position. The start was amazing for him. But there's enough eagles out there to cause some problems for Hera. The monks can convert every single knight. Hera still doesn't have a castle. Hera needs that castle soon. I would be, like, if I knew there were this many monks, I'd be panicking that castle down. Right now. Sell the wood, buy the stone, Hera, build the castle now, dude. That's trouble, man. That is trouble. There he goes. Okay. He does the right thing. He pulls a lot more villagers than some players do. As long as you get the castle up, you're probably okay. It took Hera a long time to try and mix in more light cap. Nice quick wall. Castle's at 60%. Monk is out. Converts a knight back to the home squad. And castle's going to go up. It's just like just in time Hera gets the castle up. He's had 2 town centers, so he still has the eco lead. And now Lierey needs to push. But Lierey, this is just push here. Yeah, he's getting redemption. He has siege. Hera's going to have wood problems. This is going to get messy, guys. We might actually see Hera go... Well, Axemen on paper really good against Eagles, but I guess they're not good against the Monks. I guess Hera's just going to stay on Cav. But Hera's Vilg lead, it's in jeopardy if Lierey's able to break through and make some progress here. Now, you don't want to get trapped here. You don't want to go too far. TC's on the way up. God, this is so risky, man. This is so risky. That's the Vil difference right there. If Lierey kills this, if Lierey denies this TC, it's game on. It took Lierey some time to get the monk mass up, but he's gotten to that point now. He's going to convert some buildings here with redemption, and he can push the TC. Hera needs another castle. And I think that castle has to go like right here, just to make sure that this push from Lierey just kind of dies. He still has the stone income. He's actually going to run over here to chop wood. And now Lierey's converted his market. Lierey's converted his blacksmith, but Hera's being patient. You could tell Lierey's like, uh-oh, where is he? Where is he? He's going to swoop in against me here. Took Hera some time to add the light cav. Oh, God, Lierey. Lierey gets pulled out of position. That one light cav just swooping by just pulls Lierey completely out of position, and the majority of the monks in the group go down. Lierey didn't expect that. Back over here, though, Hera didn't expect this. Losing villagers here. Is 2 TCs for Lierey, and oh my God. Hera comes in with the knights out of nowhere. Loses more knights. Kills some monks. I think the key for anytime you're pushing, like Lierey's trying to push right now, and this just got really crazy, is that push has to continue. If it ever stalls out, the player with the cav is going to be able to pick you apart. And Hera's just trying to stall it out by picking off the monks and picking off the siege. There he goes. Here he is, killing Vils. 80 villagers for Hera, 55 for Lierey. Mangonel goes down, and yeah, now Hera's eco kind of has... He could do whatever he wants with it at this stage. He could drop that castle we talked about. He could honestly go for a forward castle if he wants the killer blow. That's not really Hera's style. Usually when he has the eco lead, he's going to place the safe castle. I would say the safe castle is always the play. But yeah, I guess the main positive right now for Lierey, who did put up a lot more of a fight than I thought he was going to after the start. Main positive for him would be the fact that he has 3 relics. I'm really surprised that Lierey backed away. Like, I talked about playing scared and playing like you think your opponent's going to beat you all the time. He had 2 Mangonels here, and he had a nice choke point to work with the Eagles. And Lierey ran back because he thought Hera would swoop in and attack him. But yeah, Hera's going to swoop in and attack you, but you got to at least, like, force him to do it early or make life awkward for him. Like, this TC... There was never a panic castle. There was nothing because the damage and the pressure just stopped, right? I don't think Hera necessarily had the army to easy clear what he did here, you know, earlier on in the game. Now, look at Lierey. He hits this spot. He hits this spot. Here, he's not siege pushing, but he's attacking the light cav. And he finds some nice snipes. Hera has lost 13 villagers now in this game. Almost feels like Hera is saving that stone so he can go for a forward castle here. Shout out to the throwing axemen, by the way. Throwing axemen are great against Eagle Pike. The reason I didn't think they were that strong before was because of the amount of monks. But honestly, he killed what, like 10 monks this game? Yeah, Hera's just in cruise control now. You can't really damage an eco like this at this point anyways. You could just hop inside the TCs all the time if you're Hera. And he's on his way to Imp. Hasn't spent the stone so far on new castles. The Axemen are going to run away. Hera's just going to drop a castle there. Lierey nowhere close to clicking up. Lierey needs to find a big fight. Is this it? You deny this castle. You start a snowball that allows you to push further into Hera's eco. Hera backs away. But still Hera's eco is untouched. Lycav running away. Feels like Hera... Feels like he needs to finish this to get an easy Treb push. But he doesn't want to lose a bad fight here right before Imp. Honestly, it might just be best to chill here, Hera. Come back to that later. There we go. Building the castle. Has a monk. Still has the Axeman if the eagle's getting close. Lierey's going to dive. Not many Lycav here for Hera, but the two do make it close. Villagers dive for Hera. Eagles dive for Lierey. Bit of a bloodbath, honestly. And he's lost 21 villagers in this game. But he just wants to get this castle up. And he's cleared out a majority of the monks. So the Axemen should be able to kill off the eagles and the pikes. Actually, knights got converted. And, I mean, is there a chance for Lierey? I was kind of feeling like Hera's just going to steamroll this. But he still hasn't finished his castle. Honestly, I think Hera could just go Cavalier at this point. I don't know if Axeman is needed. You also could drop a university. I think with a university, you can go for chemistry as well. Maybe mix in some hand cannons. No imp yet for Lierey. He drops another TC on the right of his base. He'll be on 3. And Hera's Lycav moving out just to snipe more monks because that's been the problem. But the Axemen get... a couple of them get smacked there by the siege. And yeah, the GG's called there, guys. I want to go back. I want to see if my assessment of the situation is right. Hera played so well this game. The early start from Lierey got cleared up. I think Hera had a 6 OKD, and Hera just flies economically, right? I do want to go back to this point in the game. Like, this felt really bad even right here when Hera's in Castle Age faster. And even, like, when the raids were coming in, all these points in the game, then all of a sudden, it really started to feel like Lierey had an opportunity, right? And that Hera was lacking army, and that eco alone wasn't going to be able to cut it. And it was when the monks made it through here. And I just want to, like, kind of look back to this moment, right? Because right here's an opportunity. You see your opponents taking gold here. You've got a position to potentially push. Now, there's worry, 100%, that there's going to be an army that swoops in here and kills this. But when you're behind in the game, it feels like an opportunity to push. And, like, this is what I was saying before the game. I think he's scared, right? He's scared, and he goes back. He doesn't push the TC. He just runs back. And when you're behind, I think you have to continue to push. Now, does he get cleared up anyways? Yes, absolutely. But I think Lierey has so much respect for Hera. This actually hurt his chances of winning the game going back. Hera has 7 Lycav at this point in the game. That's not enough unless this happens. This was a sick moment, dude. That was sick. Lierey just patrolled and didn't realize what was happening. But assuming that your units don't get distracted, I actually don't think that the fight is horrible for you, and you could at least be siege pushing the TC. This TC took no damage. I don't know. Maybe Lierey was trying to multitask with other things, right? That could be why he backed away. That could be a big reason why you back away there. But I think when you fall behind, you got to push, and Lierey usually could do that. When you play against Hera, and when you know him so well, Lierey probably knows him as well as anyone, and you've lost 11 straight sets, I think that sometimes it can affect your decision-making a little bit. A little bit. Do I think that Hera loses the game there? No, absolutely not. I think his start was perfect. But do you guys agree? I want to hear your take on if you feel like there was a little bit too much respect given there. I think ultimately maybe Hera has to be more patient. He repairs the TC, drops a castle, drops more stables, and he eventually can maybe finish him off there. But there's the resources collected there from Hera. He starts off the series with a bang. So here we are, folks. We've got Arabia. Both of these players are known for playing a ton of Arabia, but who isn't at this level? We've got Hera in the blue, gone for the Malians. Again, it felt like game number 1 was kind of a slow start for Lierey. Hera got a lead. And because of Hera being Hera, maybe Lierey was a little bit tentative at some points, though. But Hera just jumped off to such a good start in that previous game. It was, what, 6 OKD? And sure, Incas have a discount for the units, but that's not like a positive. You don't lose 6 units and say, oh, at least they were cheap. Unless you're Goths in Imp, I guess. There are exceptions. Goths in Imp, maybe Byzantines in Feudal. I don't know. I don't know how you guys play. I really like the choice from Lierey to go for Vietnamese here. They're very close together, and laming is allowed, so I'm a little bit surprised that we didn't see an attempt to see the scout come forward and try and steal some things here, but Hera did bring in a boar right away. He's already bringing in his second. And Hera's been lamed quite a few times over the years, and he did scout the front of his base first, I noticed, or most of it. That's what you want to do. If your boars are on the front, you take them. You get your sheep early, especially if you see your opponent's Mongols or Vietnamese. Barry's awkward for Hera. Barry's awkward for Lierey. And this is going to shock everyone, I know. And Lierey's been around a long time. And he's going to plan on archers here. Which is actually slightly surprising to me. As funny as that is to say, because I was just like saying, shocker, Lierey's going to try and go archers, but I actually don't think that suits the Vietnamese that much with the way their economy plays out. But they do have more HP on the archers. Their eco upgrades are discounted, and they do, you know, it is an archer civilization. Now, we've seen Malians do really well in this tournament until they're up against one thing, and that thing is mass cav archers. And Vietnamese, I think one of the most underrated things they can do is cav archers. It's good on open maps. It's good where mobility is needed, and the reason for that would be the Malians don't have very good skirms. Usually the Malians are going for like knights and camels, and I could easily see, I mean, there's Haubs available for Vietnamese. You have the cav archers with extra HP. It could be really strong, but we're getting ahead of ourselves here. Sorry, just hydrating. I didn't mean to do that. My bad. But I'm kind of torn. Like, I've been trying to hydrate a lot more. Looks like these guys might be having lag issues. Which is so important, right? Like, if I finish a 7-hour stream and I'm not consistently drinking water throughout the day, I'm just so spent. It's crazy. I'm just so dehydrated, and then all my energy's gone. But I don't think the players hydrate at all. Like, they never take breaks. By the time I finish a game and finish summing up the game, they're in the next game. So I don't have time to drink unless it's during the cast. So I apologize. Trying to be as healthy as possible. Someone says Hera's map is garbage. I think they're both garbage. I think their maps are actually very similar in how awkward they could be, right? Hera actually has an extra wood line that's close, at least. I think I would maybe prefer Hera's ever so slightly. Also, something that no one talks about. It is more comfortable to play from the south and fight up than it is to fight from the north and fight down. Agree or disagree, chat? So Hera's map is OP because he gets to fight up. The camera angles are just so much better, man. Rigged. Lierey obviously finds Hera because he knew exactly where Hera was because of the Vietnamese bonus. Did a full circle, saw the build order, sees the stable, knows it will be scouts. Hera didn't know what his opponent was going for. And also, I think a normal generation would maybe have Lierey be over here. The fact that they're close really helps Lierey here. And Hera might be a little paranoid. That spearman got here quick. He might be thinking there's some type of a forward nearby. Now Hera's like, wait a second. We see 4 tile gold and the 4 tile gold. His base is either to the right or the left. And now he sees an archer. And this is coming in pretty quick from Lierey. This is a... It feels weird to say a dream start when he hasn't killed anything, but aspects of this very good, let's just say, so far for Lierey. Archers are slow. Spears are slow. If you're close together, gives you that edge to be able to force the issue. Over here, Hera had another scout show up. Got hit by a spear. Hera drops the range very quickly here. But unlike the previous game, there's not as much food on this map, guys. The previous game, you have rhinos or elephants. I forget which. And that gives you extra food. And he also was Frank's, so he had horse collar for free. So Hera's about to run out of the turkey here, and his berries are being harassed. And the reason that's important is he basically has to choose between scouts and skirms and vills right now. He can do 2 of the 3. It's most likely just going to be skirms. And, oh man, Lierey loses his starting scout there. You could tell he was maybe just prepping some walls here. Hera will not make any more scouts. Has the farm set up around the TC going. Love how Hera just said, I can't engage against this. A lot of people try and stay here. I can't engage against this. I'm out of here. Loses his spears, and he's got to leave his berries now. Lierey needs to know these scouts are here. They've been looping around his base. I think he might know about them. He does have the spear around. Lierey getting housed here. And Lierey's going to fall behind a villager because of that. He also didn't really panic up the house. He's going to be behind 2 vills because of that. Hera's farming eco looking clean. And yet again, pretty comfortable for him to just leave the berries. And here comes Hera with the skirms. Hera gets some nice volleys off. And it's similar to the previous game, only Lierey actually has fletching this time. So maybe he could do a bit more. But Hera just scout skirm, baiting those spears to come in towards the skirmishers. And now Hera's 2 vills up because of how messy it got at Lierey's eco. And guys, you know, the house timing's there. The farms are there. Hera's playing so clean. And skirmishers counter both the unit types of Lierey. Main thing Hera's going to need to consider here would be the blacksmith. And you get armor and fletching, and then suddenly Lierey's going to need to switch into something else here. There's the stable. I think in some ways, Hera would expect this, right? He's experienced, but he sees it now. And now he knows his opponent's going to go scouts to deal with those skirms. And you have 2 decisions here. You could just make more skirms and more scouts, which I think Hera tends to do. You could actually start going to gold, and you could mix in archers with your skirms. That helps you against the scout edition. The reason I don't think we'll see Hera do that, and the reason I think that might be misguided ever so slightly, is because it's Lierey, and players will pick off the archers then. Like, if there's just 3 archers in the group, that's going to be the target, right? Someone says, haven't been here for a while. Just watched the Great Battle of India. Laughed so hard. Hi, T90, and thank you for the content. Welcome! It still didn't hit 1 billion views, guys. That was my strategy. I was hoping everyone in India would hear about that. But hey, it did well, and it was a fun game. I remember that one very vividly, so. Okay, does Hera know about this army being here? You could tell he's paranoid. He's like, where is that army? There might be a hole between the blacksmith and the house. I don't think there is, because it doesn't seem like it. But when there's elevation, you never know. You would think that Hera would check that. Hera sees the archers here. And yeah, Hera was just kind of waiting for this the whole time. Hera also going up to more scouts. And Lierey made 1 scout and stopped production. So Lierey just said, all right. I think Lierey stopped producing because Hera spotted it and knew that Hera would respond to it. The problem is, you've now awoken a beast here, Lierey. You've gave him a reason to make more army against you when you're playing sneaky archer play. This is a problem. Guys, I mean, we all talked about how bad these maps are. If there was ever an opportunity to go full feudal, if there was ever a map to make lots of army, this would be it. And Hera's going to take that opportunity. He's going to try and push here, and Lierey could be in big trouble here. He loses a spear. Hera's got the scouts around. Lierey needs to complete this tower to have a chance. He is walled. He will struggle taking wood, but he will cook up the castle age much faster than Hera. Love the farming eco for Hera. That's going to give him the food he needs to go to the next stage. For 2.5 minutes, Lierey has to defend from this. It's going to be tough. The only thing he has is really archers and spears. All of that gets picked off by the skirms, right? You basically show up, you try and distract your opponent, and you hope that you know, maybe you kill a scout that's destroying your house rather quickly, but you repair the house, you just lose vills. Lierey needs to save every archer as well, so he can have some benefit to the faster castle age here. I think previous game, we had Lierey taking some risks, trying to go for the faster castle age and go for the all-in eagles and monks. Here, Lierey's taking a bit of a risk. We've seen him so many times throughout his career. If he could just get to crossbow, he can dominate games, guys. But, oh, Hera sees him. He brought these archers all the way home. You know, what might be good, I'm saying might, is at least the villagers aren't dying now, right? Like, at least... Yeah, that's just Hera dominating him here. There's just nothing really to be said except for this is bad. I thought, like, Hera would be on the wood line from Lierey otherwise, but Lierey brought the archers right in towards Hera there. I think because he needed some type of a distraction. So he's going to be in Castle Age. But now, there's not really as much of a power spike for him. And Hera, a little afraid of it anyways. We'll drop a tower. I'd like to see a tower from Hera. And I think whether or not he drops the Siege Workshop is based on what he sees from Lierey. But honestly, I think he could quickly recover the stone if he wants to boom. And just drop a mining camp there. Lierey, as bad as it feels, is kind of making the correct call to not go forward, guys. If you have the bigger massive crossbows, then I think at that point you obviously go forward, but he's expecting that could be a risk for him. But maybe with 2 knights and the crossbow advantage, he has a timing here. And Hera he's looking around, checking for if the archers are going to sneak. And now he sees the crossbows. Is in the Castle Age. Still continues with the skirms here. Goes for Elite Skirm. Goes for Bodkin. And these 8 crossbows are going to dominate the hill for a whole of maybe 30 seconds. Hera still can't add the next town center. He drops the second stable. Like, look at these maps, man. This is full army, guys. I think booming on this map... Okay, never mind. Lear's dropping a TC. But... Forget you saw this for a second. I do feel as though booming on this map is very risky. Because if the opponent has any real army control around your base, there's going to be eco exposed. Now, because of this hill, and because of the army comp, Lierey could be in a really good spot to stabilize here. The knights should be able to threaten the skirms in some way, once they get armor and bloodlines, but he doesn't have that yet. And so Lierey actually backs away. You got to be real careful if there's no armor, but Hera sees this. Hera will take the crossbow, but he sees the knights and feels like, ooh, upgrades might be coming in. And again, once the upgrades are in, Hera's skirmishers could be in trouble here. Nice shot from Lierey. That hill's going to be valuable for him. But a couple of the knights go down, and Hera's going to have +2 armor on his knights as well. So full armor on skirms, and then also the full armor on the knights. Very tanky army now for Hera. So normally the knights contribute a lot less when you're going knight versus crossbow, right? But because Hera is up 2 massive upgrades, it's actually going to be pretty valuable against the crossbows. And the skirms for Hera, I think they'll actually do a decent amount of damage against these knights due to the lack of upgrades. So Lierey's just basically hoping till his eco kicks in a little bit. He's got the 2 TCs. Hera will also see that. And Hera might think, well, okay. He might have a Vil lead over me now. Now's my time to push. This game looked like it could have been really bad for Lierey. He's done an amazing job to stabilize it. Like, and the thing is, it's like he's going to have siege as well. He has monks to convert knights if Hera comes in. There's lots of things that Lierey could do from this position. Hera makes one mistake here, and half his army's gone. And Hera still doesn't have town centers now. He's going to go for the ballistics upgrade, which is huge. He's going to move in close here. Siege Workshop would make me worry, though, right? Everything else, maybe you could fight. But now that there's siege as well, you've got to get out of here if you're Hera. He snipes a crossbow, backs away. Razor thin margins here. The level's insane. But guys, are you seeing Lierey really start to click right now? We saw it from Hera game 1. Obviously, he came off and he was firing right away. I watched the first game. I saw some moments at times in this game where I was worried for Lierey. And now I'm starting to see he's warmed up. This is the Lierey that people come to see. And Hera has not been able to punish him just yet. It's going to be tough for Hera to stay underneath TCs because of Bodkin Era, but he does have the armor to go under initially. Meanwhile, there's all of this happening on the front. We've got monks, we've got knights, crossbows, and skirms. This is so much army, but the crossbows need to stay alive here if you're Lierey. The crossbows are the difference makers here, not the knights, not the monk, not the siege. The siege needs to hit the skirms. Hera, is he going to notice this? Hera gets rocked, I think. I was expecting a lot of those units to die there, but it was an uphill shot. And Hera dodges so he doesn't lose his more here. Honestly, though, army count's still pretty similar. And Hera, he figures, let's just take it out. Split micros, loses a few more skirms. And Hera's going to let those knights hit the crossbows as he micros the skirms one by one here. But again, 2 TCs for Lierey. There's quite a few weak crossbows. Skirmishers in the mix there for Hera. Could end up losing these skirms soon. And maybe then with a couple conversions, Lierey could stabilize. I don't know where these vills are going. Oh, man. A couple villagers going down here for Lierey. And I still have faith in his comp. I really do. I think crossbow, knight, monk, siege. It's like kind of everything. I think it does have potential. I think it also has potential. If Hera starts to expand a little bit with the boom, Hera should, in theory, have less food to work with to produce, knights and skirms at this point. You're basically, everything Hera's been making is all food. Knights, skirms, and now villagers out of 3 TCs. Something's going to give. And usually, it's not the TCs. So it's probably just a shift for Hera. It's probably a shift in approach in some way. If anything, I think he might leave the skirms at home. And maybe peel off with a couple knights every now and then to try and get some raids. Lierey just kind of waiting. He's like, I know he's going to be here at some point. Siege. Scares Hera off. And yeah, Hera just... I don't think he has the numbers just yet to consider going up that hill. I think that's too dangerous. So it's good for him that he's on 3 TCs. Dude, this is crazy high level, man. This is great. This is great. I was very concerned with the first game, man. This is so good. I mean, it really was just that late feudal push from Hera that made it feel like in early Castle Age, he was going to be in such a good spot. But Lierey's done such a nice job to stabilize, man. I am noticing Lierey's idle eco count's pretty high compared to Hera's. That's what happens when your opponent's like rarely at your base, right? Hera's eco's always working so efficiently. Look how fast he's got the farming eco spread out around the TCs. And I think this makes sense. Like, if your opponent's just waiting at home, don't go to the hill, right? Move elsewhere. And here comes Hera with the knights. Lierey may have expected it. Lierey's got some monks coming over. Skirms as well from Hera coming by. And Hera's just going to shift the focus of attack now. Still no real push forward from Lierey. Here he loses some vills and needs to leave the woodline, and Hera sees him. But guys, like, I'm sure you realize this. Hera's eco is just flying at the moment. And when you get to 70 or so vills with these upgrades, that's... Well, actually, Hera's missing Bosal, but... Still, this is at the point where we could even see a 3rd and a 4th stable for Hera. Oh, man. Oh, how will these fights go as the knights are running in? Lierey's trying to get damage in on Hera. Hera defends. Quick gates. But meanwhile, we have a castle going up for Hera on the front. Lierey could try and push that, but the castle's at 60% in the skirms! Lierey misfires. Misses the shot. Meanwhile, Hera should be able to defend with those knights. And meanwhile, Lierey also converted like 3 knights over here. So like, they were looking at 4 or 5 different spots right there. This is the comp, though, that Lierey has to stick with. I think if you switch out of crossbow here, it's a sign the game is kind of getting away from you. He only has 20 of them. Obviously, skirms can't engage against this. Knights alone probably can't engage against this yet, but it could get to that point for Hera, honestly. Because of just how crazy this eco is. He's looking for the skirms, man. He had an opportunity to kill them. He did go for an attack round and just ended up missing it. And now Hera, he sees the knights, and he finally is going to lose these skirmishers. Crazy value those skirmishers brought him, though. And now there's not a lot of army for Lierey at home. Lierey does have the monks. And those monks scare Hera off here. I remember, so I the first time I covered Hera's games was in 2015. He's like, what, 23, 24? He's been around since he's like 15 or 16. Had some periods in activity, of course, but like, I remember casting his Hun War days, right? Which is what a lot of people played in 2014, 2015. And what he loved to do back then, a lot of players did, but it's something I still remember, was in this stage, 3rd and 4th stable, like crazy army. And his shift and how he plays it is very similar to, and I think he might have even, learned this the hard way, facing up against Viper when Viper was in his prime, and it was just defensive castles and next stage. It's like the come and break me mindset, right? Because like, if he's at 11 knights. If he didn't go imp and he went up to 20 knights, still in a great spot to maybe take a fight. But I said the word maybe. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about this situation for Hera. Now when he makes it to imp and gets upgrades, Lierey's going to have some problems. And crossbow, that is, it's going to be something that's going to be hard to get value from right now if these castles are up. So Hera won't have castles everywhere because he can't take this stone, so he's just stuck on the 2 castles right now. I think giving up on skirms is the play here. I think knight alone is the way to do it. It's crazy, man. Like, think of the military buildings that Lierey's made. He's got double range. It's honestly not even a lot from him. Stable, siege workshop, monastery, I guess. Hera has 1 range and 2 stables. He's not even going up to a 3rd and 4th stable now, which honestly he probably should. But it's just everything is eco. Eco. Yeah, I mean, he's going to be in a great spot. Really just needs that production rolling now. But he's using his time to expand further, snag some relics, focus on other aspects of the game. What can Vietnamese do versus that? Halb. Halb Arbalest is really tough for Malians to kill. The ideal comp actually would be elephants, but that's not realistic. But Halb and Ratson Archer is really strong. Vietnamese, I actually think, have the better units if they're fighting straight up. Also, Hera just runs right into a shot there. The concern I see for Lierey is, how is he supposed to stop getting raided to death? He needs more castles. A castle here, a castle here. Suddenly you're thinking his position's better, but I think Hera should be in a position to just kind of pick him apart here for the first couple minutes of imp. And that's a problem here for Lierey. Lierey has not really had much of an answer to the mobility of Hera because he hasn't been able to really push without getting pushed right back. And Cavalier upgrade will be in. Couple knights go over there. Couple knights go over here. This is perfect from Hera. This is what you have to do. Right? And then what you'll see if you're expecting a push is you could prep skirms and bomber cannons in defense. Lierey does know this is coming. He's got the vision on it. Saw this a mile away because of the outposts. Here, he sees this as well. So Hera tried to use the side pushes to distract Lierey and have Lierey pull fully out of position. Lierey's still in position. He defends here. And he defended on the left. And he's somewhat defending in the middle. If Lierey can get more castles, keep building up that Arbalest count, Malian skirms are kind of questionable long term. Really surprised Hera didn't get Farimba. I mean, he didn't take an engagement. There he goes now. So it's going to be +7 attack on the Cavalier. Once he finishes his upgrades. Hera forgetting about the Cav over here for a second. Lierey, 170 pop. It's gotten to this point where it doesn't feel like Hera wants to take an engagement against the Death Ball. But I don't know. It's not quite at Death Ball phase yet, right? It's not Elite Ratans. Elite Ratans are significantly stronger than Castle Age Ratans. We don't have many Halbs out yet. 3 relics for Lierey. 2 relics for Hera. Both players have these crazy economies right now. Hera's the superior economy, but not by a lot. And again, there are weaknesses to the Malians. I think Hera will use his bombard cannons to try and even things out. Kill these Arbalest. It is telling, though, that Lierey's had 60 army versus 30 for a long time, and he hasn't felt any confidence to push here. I think a lot of that is just because the second he moves forward, Hera raids him. But I think maybe at a certain point, you got to face the music, right? Nice shot. Hera might use Light Cav to raid here. Hera's resources are insane right now, guys. Could really go for anything at this point. Anything on that Malian tech tree. Hera could be clicking it. Could be considering it. He's got his eco to the point where he's happy. There go the Light Cav. Light Cav, they're in there to snipe Vils. And you want to split them up. Also, these outposts are funny. And kill 1 villager with these Light Cav, it's still worth it. You can always make more of them. Oh, man. Oh, man. The bombard cannons are scary. And Lierey, I think, is going to wait till he has his own bombard cannons now. Hera going to castle the right side. Makes sense. Like, it doesn't really feel like Lierey's ever going to raid Hera from here. Oh! Oh, jeez. Good shot from Hera. I wanted to see, does Lierey see this? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. That is a sight to behold for Hera fans. That's huge. Hera got Thumb Ring because skirms are slightly affected by Thumb Ring. It's not significant, but they are still slightly affected by Thumb Ring. Rattan Archers are still not Elite Rattan Archers. It's tough to go for Arb and Elite Rattan. It takes some time, but I mean, Lierey's had the time. I think you got to get that tech. You get the extra attack, extra pierce armor. Hera banking resources for game 3 and game 4. To clarify, you can't do that, guys. you just got to start over. Oh, this is going to be so annoying. And Lierey might not know how they're getting there. Lierey just seems kind of frightened to make any move against this. Should he be? Absolutely. This is a really strong army from Hera. +7 attack is crazy. And it never felt like there's been an opportunity for an easy push from Lierey. He's not going to get that today. Big dive here from Hera. Loses a ball of skirms. Honestly, I'm not sure that was necessarily the best fight here for Hera. He might consider it a decent trade because he killed some Arbs, but this might be Lierey's opportunity. Especially if you're starting to lose Vils back here, you got to bring your bombard cannons forward and you have to push. Hera's raid is reminding you, that this just gets worse. You will only get picked apart from here. If you're Lierey, you have to keep moving. Again, Rattan Archers could be the ticket here. Big shots on the skirms. Elite Rattan Archers slicing up those Cavalier, but a lot of the bombard cannons are weak. Hera snipes 1, 2, 3. And just like that, now it's like, well, can I push? Can I push if there's bombard cannons from Hera still? Bombard cannons are so valuable. Do you think there's a unit that pro players use more than low elo players avoid making than bombard cannons? These days, I think a lot of people... She's going to work, guys. She didn't just build the stable. She's going to work. These days, I think a lot of people make bombard cannons at like mid to low elo. A lot of you guys are saying monks. Dude, low elo players, at least when I cast low elo legends, make monks all the time. Just to get the relics, though. They don't convert anything. It's just to get the relics. Oh, man, Lierey just doesn't know. He'll see the lumber camp, but he just doesn't know the light cav are there. And Hera has shifted Trebs over to this side. And he Trebs down the castle. Hera has used the skirms. They've been solid enough. They're still getting the job done. Sure, they might miss Bracer. Hera. Bro, there's a new feature, man. What is this, dude? What is that? Use the auto farm, man. It's just as fast. It looks pretty. You can't make fun of my farms ever again. But, I mean, it's just, he's focused on everything else, guys. That's the thing. If you ever see bad farms from somebody, it's because they're so unbelievably skilled and focused on epic things that you just... Wait a second. Can Hera send the stable out of the... the light cab out of the stable there? He might not be able to, but yeah, back to my point. Basically, if you suck with farms, you're amazing at the game. That's at least what somebody told me. Hera's got this one in the bag, right? There are very few instances in this game where it truly felt like Lierey could pose a massive threat. It's gone late, and Lierey got to some crazy units here. But Hera's had such good control. Also, most of the military he's been making doesn't cost gold. Skirmishers, light cav. The light cav is trapped. Hera has blocked his own stable, but he won't notice that, and he won't mind because the castle will actually complete in the north, and he continues to pick apart that wood line, and he continues to push here. Is a bombard cannon from Lierey, but the bombard cannon's weak from before. That bombard cannon gets sniped, and Hera's going to expand over here as well, and the GG's called, and it was a much better game from Lierey compared to game number one. I felt like at times there was some tentativeness in the first game. It certainly wasn't as much of it here. I think the issue was more so the situation here for Lierey was his map was open, he didn't have mobility, and Hera had the threat of it. And Hera, I want to say a great job from him in Feudal Age. Like, Feudal Age and early Castle Age was great from Hera. Eventually, he started to add the TCs and have a crazy economy. But honestly, it wasn't really something that he switched into until he had tons of army, right? Both games so far from Hera on these land maps have been Knight and Skirm. And yeah, it's just been a crazy streak for Hera now of wins against Lierey in big tournaments. If you count Hidden Cup 5, he's up 6-0. I think the tournament before that, he had won 4-1. So even though Lierey's so incredibly skilled, Hera is just, he's doing Hera things. 78,000 resources collected. Super smooth game the whole way through from him. And when you think of Lierey, guys, you're saying that he's good on maps like Haboob and Arabia, the first two games that happened here. You're talking about Arabia-style maps. Arabia-style maps is always Lierey's forte. And now he's probably like, oh, okay, well, I have to have something else prepared. So maybe looking at the draft, maybe we've got, Fortified Clearing is a bit more closed. Maybe he goes for Alpine, which is still a land map. Hera he just matches up so well against everybody, but also against Lierey. And I think it shows in some ways in how the players make decisions. All right, so catching up to live time, they were into it right away. And just to repeat Lierey's road once more, he lost the first two games in his quarterfinal, almost lost game 3, then lost game 4, was down 3-1, and then came back to win 4-3. That is something that I have as a caster. There's no like rules to this, right? I could technically just be like, what the are you doing? I could do whatever I want, but it does feel like that's something I have to say. Does it feel the same? Does it feel the same to see Hera up 2-0 and, and try and compare this situation to the series against Andy? It doesn't. Mainly because of how Hera played these games, but also the fact that Hera just has had Lierey's number, right? Now, I like this from Lierey. The fact that he's built a lumber camp out here right away, really good. I don't think you're really walking that far to find a wood line on the outside. The main issue is I think players are not scouting it early enough. Even Lierey, he kind of, for a period there, was kind of just searching with his vills. So, a lot of players are still building the lumber camp here. What Hera might do is build his second lumber camp on the outside, but he hasn't scouted that yet. As I say it, he double checks and finds one, though, so he'll know about it. Now, the last 3 games I've seen on this map, I've seen spears and skirms. And Lithuanians have been insanely strong with that. We also have just seen other people go spears and skirms. We've seen Goths go spears and skirms. We've seen Koreans go spears and skirms. We've seen Romans go spears and skirms. So, anyways, that's just a creative way of me telling you I think we're going to see spears and skirms. Reason for that is just because the players are close and because no one has... Here's the big thing, okay? Now, I'm going to say this, and I think a lot of pro players would be very sensitive to this particular point of view, okay? I think a big reason everyone's going spears and skirms right now is because there hasn't been another player that has shown a counter to it. Meaning, there are sometimes situations, I'm not saying this is it, but I could think of other examples where everyone's doing a strat or not making a unit, let's say. It's really a mistake or a missed opportunity, but because they haven't seen it work from someone else, they don't want to be the one to take the risk. Best example of that, by the way, in my mind, is Tato with the Step Lancers. Red Bull Finals. Guys, we're seeing Step Lancers like crazy. There haven't been many changes. It was Tato being like, actually, this unit's really good, and I'm going to use that in the Grand Finals against Aztecs. And, yeah, it was just such a fun cast. Hope I make it back. Hope I'm casting the next Red Bull in Spain, by the way. That could be awesome. And Man-at-Arms players are going to see as a little too costly to justify. I think sneaky Man-at-Arms, where you don't make your barracks right next to your opponent's TC, and you maybe go for a sneak like Viper did the other day, could be really good. But if they know it's coming, if they see it, which is very easy to spot on this map, Man-at-Arms could be awkward. Romans are obviously a great Man-at-Arms civ. Hera says, actually, I'm going to play this civ for the 5% efficient economy bonus more than anything for now. A little sloppy from Hera. He does get housed. So he rushes in Town Watch, which is actually still a fine tech to have here. And it was a little late with his range. So Lierey's got 6 military. Hera has 1. I mean, this, and he's gonna go out and he's gonna find Hunt, I think. Oh, he's looking for Hunt, and there's no Hunt here. We'll see. Hera is already parked here on the deer, trying to take the Hunt. Guys, Lierey is looking for deer. He has not scouted, and his horse is chilling over here. There's no deer here for him, and he's gonna just go to that wood line now, I guess. Really trying to force the issue here on Hera, and at least disrupt his berries for the time being. Like this from Hera. This is the type of thing you want to do on this map. And Lierey finds the deer. I mean, finally. These guys have lived a pretty crazy life. They've been moving 40% of their life. They want to settle down here, Lierey. He's focusing on the micro. Wait, do I have military stats for that too? Oh, okay, no. Let's toggle that off. And Hera was behind 6-1 in military at one point. Taking his time, just building up his own skirm mass. Skirms obviously just kind of tickle villagers. They don't really kill them all that quickly. And it's just been a skirm spear war. So I'll repeat what I said in game number 1. I'm trying my best to hype up a skirm spear war. Are you guys not hyped? Are you not appreciating the attempt, the skirm spear war? I mean, it's going to lead to scouts at some point, you would imagine. Especially with Lithuanians in the mix, Hera might consider the man-at-arms to be a little slow, but people aren't making spearmen A late stable could kind of surprise. And look at Lierey dive here. Fletching for Hera, but the skirms are trapped. Hera's played himself. He's surrounded by trees. He's playing force nothing. Yikes, dude. I mean, again, he's just simply lost skirms. But when you're only defending with skirms, your villagers are going to die a slow and painful death. And even just the efficiency of the economy is going to take a hit. Hera forced to build a tower because Vils will eventually die against these skirms. And well done from Lierey to finally find some good engagements. Now, remember how inevitable it felt when Hera would find good engagements the first 2 games? Now we kind of get to see. So, in that year and a half, maybe even 2-year period between 2020, like maybe late 2022 back to like early 2020. I don't know the time frame. It was like these two would trade games like it was crazy. It was one person would get the lead, that person would win, and then they're just in the next game, right? That's what a Lierey Hera series was. And that's just what we came to expect. So obviously, I want to see Lierey show that that's still the case here. He hasn't been able to get any type of considerable lead today. Hera shifts back here to this gold on the outside, which is really nice. Always something that you need to think about. And that's something that Lierey could possibly do as well. He does see some gold options on the outside. Market here from Lierey. And Lierey's just moving away. Guys, I find it so weird that he has an army advantage and he's not trying to just go, like, harass in some way. Maybe he feels like he can, but this isn't the Lierey that I know of, like, you kill someone's army and you're just making moves on and jumping on their army. Like, even these skirms, that's 4 skirms against 13. He's got the movement speed. I feel like maybe Lierey could have an opportunity to chase there. Now, the villager runs right into the TC. Oh, my goodness. Lierey loses his first villager, forgetting about that there. And he's trying to get up to Castle Age. And he is going to click up. So, Hera's not really interested in making that many skirms. But he's going to need those knights, or maybe he's going to need some scouts pretty soon here. Because Lierey is doing exactly what I said. And he's making moves towards the opponent's eco. Guys, can you hear my cat screaming right now? Is my mic picking that up? I'm so sorry. She is, I don't know what it is. But after she eats, she has to tell me about it. And so she's just right outside the door. Just meow. It's not even the cute meow. It's like a scream. It's just... Okay, some of you guys said you heard it. Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. 2 stables here from Hera. I expect it to be the same here for Lierey. No stable yet, but he's still got some time till he's up. Oh, wow. Actually, hold on. He's on stone. Hera has not scouted that. Hera is scouting and looking around to see what Lierey's going to plan on. This is going to be a castle drop from Lierey. Well... Is it going to be right on Hera's TC to make things interesting here? Or is it going to be, you know, a defensive? I think you guys know what I want. And I think, you know, if you're behind in the series, and it's this map, man, you got to build it right here. That castle goes up, and Hera's not going to have Hera's not going to have a town center over time. This would be huge. Not to mention, Latists are insanely strong. Hera just saw the stone, but he doesn't really have an army to deal with it. And that's a perfect castle from Lierey. Okay, and now the key for Lierey is you try and catch Hera out when he flees. Because he's going to have to run at some point. And you also get a TC out here because these villagers are exposed. Exactly. If you build a castle here, then you're safe. But the castle forward, the only risk really is that the rest of your economy is exposed. And that's perfect from Lierey. That's the way to do it. Hera will have the knights come over for these skirms and spears, so he should be able to escape, I think. And it's going to take some time for the TC to go down, but like, that's a lot of Hera's eco right there. That's a perfect castle from Lierey. Latists are so extremely strong. They ignore the opponent's armor, which is epic against Romans, actually, because Romans are known for the armor. You get +1 attack on a 13 attack unit for every relic that's collected. Combined with the fact your Civ also just produces the monks faster. This is dreamland for the Lithuanians. The Hera backing away to heal up those weak knights, which is inevitable at this point with how he plays the game, but he's going to lose his TC. This game just became twice as hard for Hera. Lierey's in a great spot. Only thing I'm noticing is really just the wood line here that's exposed for Lierey. I think a TC somewhere else down there, and suddenly things are looking better for him. Look at this, guys. He's going to have a monastery at home to defend. Here comes Hera with some knights. And Lierey making moves to go get some kills. Hera just noticed that, I think. And just put... Oh. Well, never mind. I was going to compliment him for keeping the monk in the monastery. He's going to lose the monk. Nice find there for Lierey. And here Lierey's skirms are just kind of running all over. He's trying to protect these vills. What an awkward wood line. And he's got a monk. And he'll go for a conversion. Hera, I think, was expecting this. So he brought his skirms over. He does lose the knight, though. Really unfortunate for Hera there. I thought he was going to be able to kill that monk in time. And so, in the end, Lierey's kind of chilling. He's got 2 TCs. This one from Hera's halfway down. He's just about to build a second. Hera's food eco was set up around that TC. And Hera can't produce more knights. He doesn't have the food eco for this. And anywhere Hera tries to attack right now, he's going to have to be extremely creative to actually find villager kills. And look at that! That's what I mean, man. Like, guys, where is Hera's best spot to raid right now? On the farm right next to the TC. And he's got a block with one of the knights. You'd be like, oh. Well, that's not realistic. Hera's economy expansion now is going to be really tested. But I do feel like expanding your economy while behind means that you're not going to be able to take many advantages over the next 5 to 10 minutes. I'd like to see Lierey... I'm noticing his stone count go up. I'd like to see him build even more castles, and he goes in right for the monks! And Hera's going to lose all of his monks, and he does get 1 conversion, but when he can't make more knights, really, when he can't afford it, this is horrible for him. And, you know, Lierey fans, or, you know, neutrals out there have just been really bummed by it after the first 2 games, feeling like maybe Lierey doesn't have it today, but... He's got a perfect position now. Maybe perfect's the wrong word, but he's got a great position now to potentially win this game. Now, Hera gets a counterattack. Kills quite a few skirms here. And things aren't that great economically for Lierey, but he's going to build another castle. That's kind of an interesting one. Actually, Hera needs to delete those farms. Lierey should build a mill there. It actually looks like the villagers already stole some farm. Wait, how are they already Lierey's? Huh? Well, guys, if you remind me, I might go back and I might see if he clicked the farms. They somehow all became his. There was a game I uploaded to YouTube from the qualifier where there was something on this map where the farms kept changing owners. And it basically would do it without the players controlling it. The villagers did wander over there. I wonder if that was part of it. I don't know. Hera's had a hard time keeping his monks alive. And Latis are just so strong. They've got the +2 attack now. No upgrades, by the way. So it's 15 attack, but they ignore armor from the opponent. I don't know if you really need armor. Unless you're up against, like, TC fire at this point. Yeah, there we go! So watch this, guys. When you steal a farm, it actually goes to... It begins as a new farm, I believe. Okay, it was already stolen. I'm wrong. Never mind. Don't listen to me. Normally, I'm the farm expert here, but just don't listen to me. The castle will fire on these knights. Hera finds another villager kill. Hera also killed a monk here a moment ago with the light cav, but still, I mean, Lierey's got an amazing position here. Hera is still just 1 TC. Such great fight from him to stay in this. Lierey would really be on 3 town centers at this point. But this game is messy. Like, it's not easy for him to really get new villagers to a task from this TC. He still only has one town center out here, and the wood efficiency is pretty brutal, so... If Hera had a big monk mass right now, I'd start to feel like he could hold on here with a bunch of latest conversions. But he's lost quite a few of his monks. He still continues to produce them, but he's going to need to basically convert these guys. And if he does that, Lierey starts to throw some army away, then the Roman economy could bring Hera back into it. Hera has collected the same amount of resources as Lierey. And Hera still being active with the Lycav. Guys, give me a percentage chance that Hera comes back and wins this game. He was castle drop. It's Lierey of all people. 2 castles going latest against him. Give me a percentage. I'm seeing some high percentages. A lot of people seem to think this is maybe doable. Lierey hasn't killed him yet. Lierey will dive into the attack here. I think if you kill the monks, you're happy to just leave. He is going to get husbandry. So he can move out of here. Husbandry kicks in just the last second there. Hera can't get a trap. I think these monks got conversions on vills, so they're trying to hide. But Latis are just the superior military unit right now. And that should be 2 dead monks. Yeah, they can't convert. I think these are the monks that converted villagers a moment ago. Lierey has enough stone for a castle. He doesn't have a 3rd town center yet, which is so rare. It feels like, you know, you really should have a little bit more eco, but then again, you built 2 castles. Where do you even build the 3rd castle? Do you build it, maybe here? I mean, it gets really awkward. Someone says, as someone who went to graduate school for mathematics and has a doctorate in probability, I can correctly predict Hera has a 2% chance. Yeah, but your name has reject in it, so I don't trust it. Are you sure you didn't try to go to school for mathematics, but the school rejected you? I'm sorry. I got aggressive because I suck at math. Raids from Hera. I love how he continues to find damage, right? Like, Lierey's not pressuring him, so he continues to move out there to do what he can. And finally, Lierey researches armor. It's like, just because you ignore armor doesn't mean that you shouldn't get armor yourself. Guys, Hera's about to even up the Vil count, but Lierey has 21 latest. Also, if your opponent has monks, there is a tech called Devotion here, Lierey, which can really help you in this situation. Here he goes. Lierey's sick of this stuff, guys. He's sick of this. He's sick of the narrative that he can't beat this Lierey guy. He's sick of how inevitable it's felt. And he's going to take this fight. Hera will get conversions. Hera will also kill monks. But I believe the latest should destroy here. There's 4 relics in the monastery, so it's 13 plus 5 attack now with his attack upgrades research. And Hera's whole army just gets destroyed. And Lierey responds. And, you know, it was kind of similar to the quarterfinal from Lierey, where the first 2 games he lost, I began to get worried about him. And then he finds a way in game number 2 to get a win on the board. Remember, in that round of 16, he then lost game number 4 even. Still had a 3-win streak in him to make it here today to this quarterfinal. Hera's got a challenger, but it will be Hera's choice on what map we see next. And that's the first time we'll say that in this series. 21,000 resources collected from Hera. I think Hera did a really good job trying to rebound into the game and trying to hold. I just think Lierey's castle drop was perfect. I think building the castle to take out the TC, there was nothing Hera could have done. And Hera fell into a position where he had to choose between economy and army. And he chose economy, and he made as much army as he could, but it still wasn't going to be enough, unfortunately. I just don't know with how Lierey played this, if there was much Hera could have done differently. I felt like the counter-attacking to try and find damage was great. The expansion from the eco was great, but it was too little too late from him. Well played. And let's go, baby. Ooh! I think we might see fast castle here, guys. I mean, it might not necessarily be the case. But ever since we saw Nikov go for that fast castle drop against Viper in the round of 16, as Hera just has to quickly fix bringing in a boar. I felt that maybe it's a possibility here. Now, Lierey lost against a fast castle play of his own, or not of his own, of Andy's in the round of 16. And I said to you guys earlier, I was thinking, there's stone and there's gold right next to the TC. So, Spanish, incredibly strong with conquistadors. Would Lierey actually try this? I don't know. Hera walks over to the forage bush. He breaks down the little fence that's there to bring in the sheep and the cow. He's also just going to push in a deer while he's at it. And Hera's got more of a typical pick, I would say. Hindustani's perfect for the scout opening. This map is perfect for Hera's style. Moving around with stable units and dropping TCs and booming. So cheap fills with the Hindustanis and then some of the best stable units with camels. I do actually think Spanish have a comparable late game. I think Conquistador and Halb could be really problematic for the Hindustanis. But I said Conquistador. And that means you need a castle. And there is some level of sacrifice involved and risk involved with getting there. So that's why I'm thinking, like, maybe there's a chance that Lierey tries just a straight fast castle. Like, I will say something I think Hera has to do. It falls into the category of has to try at least. If the fast castle is possible, is I think he needs to try a forward dock. Because what you don't want is to go scouts, have your opponent be walled, which is one thing. But then also have the fishing ships bringing in food that whole time, which is the other. And it's not that far of a walk to get there, and it's pretty common on this map. So, how are Gulum against Conquistadors? Gulum are to Conquistadors as I am versus Hera, I would say. Not very good. Not very good. It's not going to be Conquistadors, by the way, for Lierey, at least yet. So maybe he just goes scouts. I mean, Gulums are anti-archer. Conquistadors shoot bullets. Gulums can run, but Conquistadors can gallop. So it's just really not a good choice there. T90, can we maybe get some more complicated metaphors? No, but I'm disappointed no one in the chat pointed out that the only time that I ever played Hera in a tournament, I won a game against him. Nobody has my back? Everyone just laughs? Okay, chat. All right. Now, he may have deleted his town center. However, I maintain my strategy was really good. It was, of course, he deletes my TC with my best strat. So, yeah, it happened. Also, well, never mind. I gotta save my bragging moments for other casts. I don't have a lot to brag with, so we've got to spread it out. So this answers Hera's question. If there was any concern that there would be a fast castle here from Lierey, I really thought there was a chance. But it's so risky, and realistically, I think going for the castle would be something an underdog would do. Lierey still might consider himself an underdog. I think in the interview he did with Mem, he mentioned that Hera is obviously the favorite here, but he's still got some great ability as he showed in game number 2. And I think beating Hera, you're just going to have to play standard, straight-up competitive Age of Empires. Now, Lierey did thoroughly check this pond with the fishing ship. Hera actually doing the same now. So both players checking to see if they're being docked. And also Lierey checking to see the stable. Are you guys getting dizzy yet? Lierey's warmed up now. He's dropping some walls around his wood lines. Might try and go for a bit of a full wall here. Lierey checking the berries to see if they're being taken. Hera checking the berries, well, somewhat maybe, to see if they're being taken. But this is just going to be scouts from both. They've confirmed the opponent's strategy. This isn't horrible long-term for the Spanish or the Hindustanis. I would say that I think it's a bit better for the Hindustanis. If they stay on stable units, that is, and Hera gets the snipe. I'm going to make a call out now before we get there. I think we see Spanish cav archers. Or I think we see Hindustani Cav Archers. That is, it feels like cheating to almost say that. They're really far apart. I just think Cav Archers make sense. But Lierey might try Conks. I don't think that would work. Are Spanish Cav Archers completely horrible? Well, maybe if they're just worse, that could be an issue. Maybe Conks are too good. Maybe you just have to try Conks. Yeah. I think that might be the choice in the end. But you need walls down, and that's going to take time. Love how Hera will make more scouts than the average civilization in this position. Like, I especially considering Hera's skill set and how comfortable he is with scouts on the map. Having 5 or 6 scouts with Hindustanis on the map, I don't think it's overproducing. You could destroy buildings very quickly with them. So even if your opponent ever gets walled, you can bust through those walls or at least have some type of a... I'm searching for words right now. Pose some type of a threat. There we go. Is this going to be a trap? There's no Viper here. Yeah! I thought it was going to be a trap. Come on, Lierey. Honestly, might be kind of worth it for Lierey if you consider the idle time and investment from Hera. I don't know. I think it's more about the message that was sent. And that was well played there from Hera to realize he could box those scouts out. Resources looking pretty good for both players. Hera a little late to gold, but he'll manage that now. And it feels very natural. Like, scouts aren't going to play as big of a role because the walls are coming up. Actually, they might. Oh, man. Hera... a little distracted there. I thought he was going to take that opportunity. Maybe he was looking here. But he just lost a spear. Scouts dodge. Hera engages. Hera will kill the spears. Man, if Hera runs in here with these 4 scouts, Lierey is going to be kicking himself. Oh, man. Well, okay, we got some nice value here from Hera. And Hera could see the stone, right? Like, that stone could not be worse if you're trying to get away with conquistadors. Lierey is going to be up, but Hera's in with the scouts. And man, there's been so many spearmen made from Lierey this game, right? He had a bunch of them forward. He had like 2 at home. For 4 scouts to kill those 2 villagers is going to be something that at least I'd be kicking myself with. There is a hole here, but that might actually be an area that Lierey's comfortable fighting off with vills. But Hera will act like he's going to engage. What? Oh, man, guys. Yeah, this is... I mean, tip-top shape from Hera, of course, but... that... The last minute or two, just kind of rough from Lierey's perspective. Comes down to the tiny details. We do just become quite used to seeing those tiny details managed. And Lierey struggled here. Cheap vills for the Hindustanis, of course. And then Hera gets the scouting intel. Just feels very sloppy from Lierey, honestly. And Hera's going to drop range number 1 and range number 2. Yeah. So, still manageable for Lierey. Previous game, he ended up getting a unit that was so solid. There was nothing Hera could really do. Especially in the matchup. Now, Conks cost food and gold. It's extremely unlikely that Lierey's going to be able to have the vill count that Hera will go for. Hera needs to place TCs that protects him well here. And he needs to go... oh, he's going to go skirms. Oh, that's actually great. There's only 1 fishing ship here for Hera. Lierey did kill fishing ships for those that were wondering. Skirm is actually great. Skirm is actually great because there's no additional scouts left over. Skirm actually makes a lot more sense in Cav Archers, at least from the defensive side. What Hera can't do easily is really control the game offensively. But when... I was going to say, when has that been an issue for Hera? But to be honest, he's controlled the game offensively very nicely this series. Hera can be fine with sitting back and chilling for a bit, so... Roxy says, I love how polite T90 is towards pros. What? Roxy, were you thinking as I was saying that it was sloppy from Lierey, that was abysmal? Were you possibly thinking that what a normal person would say is that should never happen right there? Because I'll tell you, those words didn't even cross my mind when Lierey let those scouts into his base. And he didn't have the spears at home and he didn't have walls up. I definitely was not thinking like that. Because I'm polite. Hera's wondering where that castle's going to go. And he's going to find out. I mean, this is a really good build up here for Lierey. Like, this TC spot is critical. The castle protects the only vulnerable area of his base. Does he know about skirms? No, he doesn't. Well, he doesn't have a scout. I could have sworn he had one. I think he lost it somewhere. Thank you, Dolphone, for the 8 months. This T90 who's winning Warlords. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that whoever wins this series is in a really good spot. But we haven't seen... I need to see the performance from the players in the other quarterfinals. My thinking going into this event was Hera's the favorite. I think second favorite was either going to be like Tato or Viper for me. But we've only had like one set to go off of for the players that are in the other quarterfinals, right? So a lot of it does come down to like what type of shaper player is able to bring. Something that Hera does such a great job of is his consistency. Doesn't really have an off day. Elite Skirm coming in for Hera. Got the TC positions down, though, before he needed to click that upgrade. See, guys, that's the difference. Like, that's the difference. A lot of players are going to go Elite Skirm earlier to be safe, and then the TCs are going to be delayed a little bit. But the best of the best are just going to get that eco going, and then right when there's a threat, they have the answer. Even Bod Canero, right? Conquistadors are being microed. This is where I think you would need to consider a siege workshop if you're Lierey, but that is not something I've seen Lierey do very frequently in these situations. The Hera's got the skirms. Hera has the monks to threaten. Conks will one-shot elite skirms, but elite skirms in this group will also one-shot the conks. Nice shot from Lierey to run away, though. That was really good. I think if there's a siege workshop up now, Hera might struggle. Like, yeah, you could, okay, go redemption monks. But the second your opponent knows you have redemption, they move in with the siege, the monks start, whoa, and then they just die. Simplifying it, of course, but... Hera just chilling on the hill now, and Lierey will find out he has ballistics in a second. But, you know, once ballistics is in, going to be really difficult for Lierey to have the siege position, which is important to the push. So he's just 2 TCs. 50 Vils. Here, I think, maybe the Spearman killed a monk. I'm not entirely sure. But, yeah, now ballistics is in. Sorry, of course I looked away to see if a Spearman killed a monk. Because I could have sworn Hera had one go to the left. But there's no question at this point. Like, Lierey knows that that means ballistics is in. And so now he's going to be more scared of moving forward with the conks, but even making the conks at this point. I think in this type of game, with this Civ, 5 TCs not only makes sense, I think 5 TCs might just be necessary here. Like, maybe there's a risk of an imp timing still being a problem. This whole area, push through the middle here, is still going to be the key for Lierey if he's to break Hera. So Hera might not want to use his stone for another TC. But Vils are just so cheap with the Hindustanis. It feels like you can get away with it. Like, especially if you're going to be raided on the left. Having some security with the TC on the right could be really solid. Lierey's got to be thinking, everywhere I go, there's a freaking army waiting for me, man. It must be so annoying. There's skirms everywhere. And so he'll engage here. Both players are going to try and dodge the other, but not worth it for Lierey. Conks are so expensive. How many kills have the conks got in this game? 1, 2, maybe 3. I think these conks here got 3 kills, so there you go. Maybe it was a bit more than that. Is Lierey going to send more Vils to stone right now? Okay, all right, so Lierey is thinking castle push. He's thinking conk, mango, which is amazing. And then, never mind, he's going for a 4 TC. But he could shift to the stone, and he could think about a castle here. A castle here would be huge. But it's just going to take a lot of time. This is one of the toughest armies to kill in the game, what Lierey's coming forward with now. He didn't have bloodlines for a lot of these engagements. He has that now. Hera also hasn't seen any siege yet. So Hera, who's notorious for farming like crazy and like kind of delaying mining till later stages, he doesn't really have the gold to realistically like make a bunch more monks and get redemption. He'll have a market, but this could become a problem for Hera. And we'll see how scared of this he is. Yeah, he's got to back off the hill shortly, right? Right? Split micro. Attack round to the side. Lierey. Boom! He's playing with fire here, and he gets smashed again. And, you know, he's been confident this series, right? There's reasons to be, but there are rules to this, Hera. And if you play with fire, you're going to get burned every once in a while there. That was... I mean, maybe if he backs away, he has a little bit of time. This is where, if there was a castle drop coming, Hera would have no answers. Hera still hasn't clicked up to Imp. He was going to go camels. But conks, monks, all good against those camels. And now Hera doesn't have the skirm numbers. Usually, Hera's able to use that one range, never lose the units. He doesn't have to panic like this and make more military, but he's panicking now. Guys, Lierey's played amazing here. The Spanish choice is so interesting. And what I love is, when Hera started to split and be a nerd, he was like, I'm pushing you anyways. He looked at the situation instead of respecting the player, which I feel, obviously Hera demands great respect. But I feel at times it could possibly be an issue for players. Particularly in game number 1, that was my feeling. At that one point with the Eagles in the siege. Villager might be waltzing forward here to try and repair the siege. Camels will go in, hoping to kill the monks. The monks don't die yet. The camels get converted. The rest of the camels are dying. The monks are still here, and there is the repair vill. Still no forward vills for Lierey. This is crazy game. Guys, like, if Hera brings himself out of this one, it's going to be by shore production. Like, his units are just not as good. The Conquistadors have their armor now. The siege is all up here on the hill. This is not pressure that a player should come back from. He has the Civ to reboom if he loses vills, but losing the position could be horrible. Castle. Interesting. Interesting, because Lierey loves this hill. But in order to deny this castle, he has to leave the hill. Which might actually give Hera the hill. You see how Lierey, he doesn't want to fully abandon the hill here? Conks can always move back and forth. Oh man, where are the vills? There are the vills! There are the vills! Big moments! God, this is so important for the series, guys. This series was all Hera until game 3. And you know, in the blink of an eye, it could be 2-2. Which is not something even I was expecting. But here we go. Hera has his own castle to drop. He's going to drop it right next to this as camels freeze. Hera's going for the 2 castles. The camels engage. The skirms, I mean, he's got so many skirms. But the vills, Hera. The camels, Hera. The castles, Hera. What is this moment? What is happening? I think Hera's going to be okay here. I mean, he gets a surround on the conks. His castle on the left completes. His castle on the right completes, but Lierey needs to complete his castle. Lierey needs to complete his castle. Lierey! Denied at 97%. And guys, listen, I know it's 2 castles versus 1 here, but if Lierey has 3 more vills there and this castle goes up, look at all this eco. If that castle's up, this situation is entirely different. Hera holds. Lierey's still okay. But amazing defense from Hera there. I mean, that was just... I mean, there's moments where these guys are able to calculate things to the tiniest little detail. That was not one of them. That was just sheer numbers and timings and just sending it. And now Hera drops another TC. Now Hera drops another TC. And he remembers what's important here. Extra stones and golds. God, that was so brutal for Lierey. What makes things so much worse about losing the you know, not getting this castle up is the fact that if he were to make a safe castle somewhere, he would be protecting other stones and gold, and he would have another castle to produce conks. But something that Lierey has not done quite as well as Hera is expand to the other stones and golds. And now, like, this area is going to be contested by Hera, right? I was surprised when Lierey went for the 4th TC. Not that that was necessarily a mistake, but remember we were calling out that forward castle pretty early, right? If it happens maybe a little bit earlier, maybe an extra villager or two, maybe that changes things. But now, Hera's got the map control, and Hera has 150 vills, and the only thing that Lierey could really do is chase these armies down. And there's no way that castle ever gets completed. Hera's going to have an eye on that. I do think maybe he could wall it up, because you know I'd be sending 3 vills. Lierey, make a siege tower, honestly. I'm not even kidding. Siege tower? 5 vills? That castle goes up easy. But you don't know if Hera walled it in, right? No, you know Hera hasn't walled it in. I don't know. It feels like the castle's probably doomed anyways. I can fully understand just giving up on it. Conks have killed the camels. Hera still hasn't clicked up to Imp, guys. And Spearman kills a vill from Hera for Hera. Lierey is up. Lierey is up. These conks have 30 kills. Kind of expected Hera to be up. He's got 154 vills. At this point, that's probably enough. I'll probably stop around there. Castle for him on the left-hand side. No stone access for Lierey right now. So he has that one singular castle. Where will Lierey pressure? I mean, you can't pressure the castles. And there's going to be 3 of them. And now he's actually struggling for gold, guys. Lierey has no gold. This was his only gold. Remember, he moved here, ran out of it. He had this gold, ran out of it. And now it's a desperation play to get out to this gold, where Hera has just expanded to these resources, and he's been there for so long, right? There's conks. Like, you know, when someone's in the Imperial Age, you want some benefit to when they make it to the next stage, right? But at the moment, it really feels like as Hera against one Mangonel is going to be able to get the job done. You feel like Imperial Age doesn't really benefit Lierey all that much from this situation. He is going to go for Elite Conquistador, but he's sunk all of his resources there to upgrade 11 units that Hera kind of already has a double counter for. I think in Imp, the camels become a stronger option versus conks, as do the skirms, of course. And Hera, even though he's losing camels, I think he will recognize, based on what he's seen on the map, that Lierey just really doesn't have a lot of gold here. And when you're 2 minutes later to Imp and you've still been ahead in the score by this much, I think you also recognize you're completely fine. Like, this Castle Age army of skirms is still a threat to these conks here. Elite conks feels weird, but it was probably the best choice for Lierey to do. It's like, in a game, you have multiple moves that flow together in an ideal world. And the next step for Lierey, what was supposed to set up Lierey to win this game, was this castle. And ever since this castle gone down, the whole forward castle fast imp attempts, it was not going to be really working out here. But it's Hera's turn to lose to fail to build a castle. Doubt sighting number 2. Castle foundation does go down finally. Hera in the back with camels now. So yeah, go ahead, Lierey. Now you've got to produce conks from your one castle and just send them into all these different directions where Hera's going to spread out his camels. Nightmare. Just so annoying. And it's the right play from Hera. The skirm ball is funnily enough the security blanket here. Guys, at one point Hera had started to queue up a demo, and he must have canceled it, and I'm disappointed in him. I just want the world to know that. That could have been such a nice moment. Well, Lierey's quick walling his heart away, his life away, and as he's getting Treb down on the left, he might, I don't know. You know, he might end up feeling as though this game was crucial to his chances of winning the series, right? Hera was playing so greedy. I take that back. I don't know if he was actually playing greedy. There are times where that's the case. In this case, it's kind of, he did everything you can do with the Hindustanis. But yeah, this game is over. The elite conks, they've got 6 different places to be. And running away is not going to be it at this point. Imperial Camels on the way for Hera. Those things could just shred the TCs at this point. Or shred the houses. We'll see who wins. And, I mean, you're thinking, in an ideal world, you go conk with maybe Halb here. Conk with maybe Hussar, but Hera able to afford everything. Lierey really can't afford anything right now. Imp Camel will be in 20 seconds, and I think the only thing Hera's missing is maybe a castle towards the middle. He's got the castle on the right up. He's got the castles in the middle of his base, and he's got the castle on the left. Best position for a castle would be in the middle area near the golds. Don't think he necessarily needs that, but that would be the final blow here. Lierey's going to take this fight, and he's going to see Imp Camel come in, and he calls the GG. What a great hold from Hera there. I mean, again, it was such a critical moment. I do want to go back to it, though, because I want to see how many villagers Lierey brought forward, right? This position was so strong. It was so good. How many vills are we talking? 8. I mean, he failed the castle. So, you know, obviously we're going to be critical of it. 8? But T90, he's Spanish. You know, the building bonus, Spanish. I mean, a couple more vills. Again, even if Hera completes both of those castles and Lierey's castle eventually goes down, at least the castle being here would be up in Hera's business, dude. He wouldn't be able to take so many resources. It would be so awkward. Guys, if you ever go for a forward castle, send 10 minimum, okay? That's my advice. Would have helped here, but I just watched too many doubt games, you know? It feels like that's going to be a killer one here for Lierey. Hera now needs to win one of the next 3 to move into the semis. And again, his eco was flying with the Hindustanis. That is personally my favorite part about the Civ, is just the cheap vills. And if you lose vills, who cares? Just make more. The food savings is insane. You're always going to have resources for technologies because of all the leftover food, even after producing 150 some vills. And Hera did a great job there, as he always does on Spiral, expanding to the resources to the sides. It was critical that Lierey had the position on the front there with the castle, because he did not do that himself. Ladies and gents, welcome to game number 4. And, oh man, what a fight it was from Lierey in the previous game, but it wasn't quite enough. We have the Knightless matchup here on Northern Isles for game number 5. I did say I would gift 1,000 subs to my stream if we saw a knight produced in this game. I will stick to that bet. I will stick to that bet. All right, I'm not backing out of it. I'm very confident. People got excited. We've got Lierey playing as the Megalis. And then we have Hera playing as the Dravidians. Both really good civs for this map. But one awkward aspect is the fact they literally just can't make knights, right? Not too much of an issue on water maps, but just to briefly break down the bonuses. Dravidians are very flexible. The house, the dock also counting as a house and giving you pop space is really helpful. The fish carry capacity is an underrated bonus and really helpful as the game goes on. Cheaper barracks upgrades can be critical at various points. And then really strong navy. That's basically it. Well, that all beyond the plus 200 wood they get in each age. Begalis get 2 villagers when they arrive to the next age. And then they also they have a ship regenerating bonus, which before you get to the other bonuses, like their elephant archers and their monks and a half-decent navy, makes them really strong. Now, look at these islands and look at the TC spots for a second. You guys see anything that's possibly wrong here? Oh god, I bumped my keyboard, sorry. Hera just stole a cow, by the way, on the shoreline, but that's not what we're talking about. Hera's town center is smack dab in the middle, like every other generation I've ever seen on this map. Lierey's town center is to the side? oddly enough. And, like, if he were to lose this side of the map, I mean, I guess he could transport to the middle, but he's going to have some problems here. So, you know, that could be a positive, or that could be a negative, right? But even this gold seems to be somewhat problematic, or this stone, if Hera has water control in this area. Now, Hera's got some awkward ones too, right? Like, it's not like his are great, but this is one of those that I would say is a bug, but it's not admin-reable, right? As someone who hosts his own events, has had issues with apps and script, helps with scripts and ideas. This is just unfortunate, right? So this, I wouldn't be disappointed if the admins for Warlords would be like, hey, we should replay this. But realistically, this is just something they've got to look at tomorrow, see if why it happened, see if they could maybe avoid it. It's unfortunate for Lierey. So, nothing's missing. It's just that things are... Oh, he actually thought his boar was missing until now. It's just that things are a little awkward for him. So, both players have confirmed that the other's going forward docks. And they've used the transport ships for that. No loom here for Lierey. And Hera is going to see this Vil. And he may consider killing it, but he knew Lierey's scout would be around. That's really nice patience and awareness there from Hera. And he also is going to bring the transport. And he's going to try and hide his scout if he needs to. Oh, man, that's close. And whoop! Up! 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 Hera's like, why do you have a boar, bro? Oh! Oh! Wow, that was something else. That was hilarious. Hera could have technically hopped into his transport ship there. But now Lierey's like, yes, let's go, baby. That was fun. I love moments like that. So, Dravidians get the additional wood, and their docks give them pop space, so they should be really in a good position to go for lots of Navy here. And it is essentially Navy v Navy at the moment. Hera, get a life, dude. Stop blocking this transport ship. Oh, come on. Ah. Actually, would have been really nice for Lierey to be able to get the scouting of Hera's island. But probably looking back at home and probably going for the, you know, just focusing on the fires here. So, if it is a straight Navy matchup with nothing else going on, I prefer galley opening. The benefit of the fire galley opening is that when it gets messy, so you have a landing or something, that's where I feel the fires become easier to control and it makes life awkward for the galley player. And while the fire galleys do slowly regenerate, it is not fast enough to necessarily make up the difference for the hits that Hera's getting here. Now, a lot of people watching would make a demo in this scenario. You rarely see that until later on because this is like... It's much harder to guarantee you're going to get the benefit of a demo, which is hitting 2 ships at once. So, straight galleys from Hera. And now the galleys are going to be moving forward. Market for Lierey. Keep in mind, he's down 3-1, right? There's been some rough moments today. The previous game, probably a heartbreaker for him. And you're going to want to take some risks in some ways if you feel you're going to fall behind on water here as well, which to me seems just clear. But suddenly it's not so clear. And Hera, yeah, just able to move. It's interesting. If the feudal fires were a little bit faster, not faster than the galleys, but a little bit faster, it feels like it could make some differences in some of these engagements. But Hera's ships don't regenerate, right? Hera also didn't have any fishing ships, and neither did Lierey. Wow, we didn't talk about that. We did not talk about that, because typically you've got like a back dock or front dock with a fishing ship or two. That's interesting. Did Lierey scout the back with a transport? What in the... I'm a little confused. Maybe Lierey feels like he can't engage against this right now. Or maybe he didn't thoroughly scout with the transport ship, and he thinks there might be fish back here. I mean, Hera could, in theory, back dock, but Hera's just going to be fishing on the front. I don't fully understand the situation for Lierey at the moment and where he's moving his ships, beyond to just say it doesn't feel like he's in a good spot. I think other players other than Hera would add 2 fires here with the galleys to take out the docks. But Hera is just like, well, I'm taking out the docks anyways. I have good control. Why invest into it? But you will see a lot of players when they go galley opening in these situations add at least like 1 or 2 fires to destroy the dock faster. Lierey clearly feels behind, and he's going to try and make things interesting. Our hopes and our dreams, well, I guess that is if we want more games, lie in this transport ship. And Hera isn't exactly patrolling around elsewhere, right? Hera still hasn't clicked up to the next stage. Bengalis get additional vills. Resources collected ahead for Lierey. I don't know if he's going to have a ton of food to work with. But he just needs gold, baby. He just needs gold. Can you imagine if he scouted with that scout and he knew where he could do damage? The last thing you want is a little sliver island, because then ships can range you on the side. So you want like a big, wide area on the island. I think Hera, it's been awfully quiet, right? And Hera's like, hold on a second. This is weird to me. I need to, just in case, drop a couple walls. First thing Hera should do in Castle Age. List it off for me, chat. First thing he should do. Town Watch. That might even be the third thing. It depends on how he prioritizes his clicks. I think you need Town Watch. So your houses give you vision, and you just don't get surprised by anything here. That would be what I would say. Or galley upgrade here from Lierey. I mean, he's moved so awkwardly and sneakily at the same time with his ships. Dude, this monastery just does not instill confidence. But this is huge. This is massive. This is Hera's advantage, is the fish. And Lierey's right on top of him, guys. Oh, man. Because Hera's chasing this fire ship to the north of the map. Hera's going to be kicking himself for this one. Maybe it was so long since he's seen the Navy, he just simply forgot that there were that many fires out there. Maybe he didn't encounter as many of them as we ended up seeing. But that's perfect, because right now, water control is simply to control the fishing eco. Again, really don't like to see buildings next to the shoreline. And Lierey thinks of that too. Smart thinking. Would have been surprised if he completed that. Now, Hera's houses would give him vision over this area if he researched Town Watch. Not researching Town Watch, getting the War Galley upgrade, dropping TC number 2. There's absolutely a chance here for Lierey. This is fine for Lierey. Like, it's not like Hera's Navy is that insane either. He's just got 9 galleys, and they are being microed, but Hera's economy could get pushed in this area. We have a mangonel. We've got some monks on the way. And Bengalis are really good at this. Hera has no clue that this is a possibility here. And maybe he doesn't have much of a clue that it's happening because his opponent is fighting back on water, right? Hera has taken damage, which would make me think in that position, my opponent is prioritizing that and probably economy. Whereas, if there was no fire galleys killing his fish, there was no upgrades in that regard, he treats the situation differently. Okay. Honestly, would love to see Lierey convert the vills before killing them. Converting 3 vills is better than killing them. He attacks. And he does start to convert some vills. Hera now knows. And Lierey's going to try and convert the docks. Dude, come on. You're going to lose your monks. I love it so much, but I also hate it. Run. Talk about ambitious. But Hera's in trouble here, man. He did kill 1 monk. But this is extremely awkward for Hera. He still has the Navy, but now his base is getting pushed. And there's more siege on the way. And I think the best thing for Hera in this scenario to clear this up would be Lightcav. That is easily the best thing on paper. But he needs to add the barracks. He needs to add the stable. And he doesn't have a fish boom. Right? Usually this type of push is so difficult or so easy to kill for the player who has won water because they have the fish boom. Hera doesn't necessarily have the food. Now he does have a market. But, okay, Lierey, you better convert that market, dude. Converting Hera's market would be so sick. Hera using that market as we speak. Yeah, Hera can't let that get converted. And then he has to sacrifice a Vil instead. I would say just convert the Vil. It's another Vil to build forward. Hera about to lose his TC. Still doesn't have a siege workshop. Hera is melting. Hera is also killing things at Lierey's base. Lierey's rally point for his TC was set forward. So his villagers have been dying on the shoreline. And here, Lierey is converting the Vils. And he's not going to lose the monks because he converted more Vils. Uh-oh, Hera. I don't think Hera is going to expect that Lierey has researched redemption. Guys, I mean, this series has been closer than the scoreline suggests. That castle in the previous game could have given Lierey the win. And now Lierey is just all over him. Outposting and Town Watch. These two things that are so critical to this game when you don't have scouts. And two things that Hera just failed to go for here. And he's just gonna... I don't see a world where he wins this game. Lierey is in the perfect position. Well, he didn't get Sanctity. He has Bengalis, so he's going to get Sanctity now. He's got Spears. He's got Monks. He can convert the Siege Workshop. He's got all this Siege. He just needs to continue to bring in Spears. And if he knows the Mangonel is on the way, he should try and convert it. Sanctity in this game is already won for Lierey. Oh, God. Oh, so many monks have just died. Oh, no. Oh, no! What is happening? Okay. I'm getting really stressed right now because I feel like on paper, Lierey just had the position to win the game outright right there. The Mangonels would have been converted. The scouts would not have gotten the kills. But this is what pressure does, right? It's the moment, right? Executing correctly in the heat of the moment is so tricky. Just saw that Lierey built a mill here, apparently. There's the Siege Workshop. So, again, now it's a situation where the Mangonels cannot one-shot. Hera's going to use that transport ship. I love that. Hera's going to have to abandon island. Remember that time we said that Lierey's map sucked? Well, his map is looking pretty good right now. Because his map isn't even a topic of conversation. There he goes for his third town center now. And he has buildings all over the place. Hera, though, gets a big hit. Hera still has the navy, and Hera can take stone and gold in the middle. He's going to TC the middle. The thing is, Hera using siege defense... I keep saying should. Like, maybe... I mean, to make it clear, in case you don't already realize, I'm talking about optimal gameplay, right? Any siege defense should be off the table now. Any even scout defense, I feel, is somewhat off the table because there's spears. The Hera hops out, realizing maybe the stable could go down. The siege here for Hera, able to pull back. Really nice job from him. Stable could get converted. He's got one scout. He's going to be upgrading to light cav if that upgrade comes in. And Hera is running further and further. I want Hera to transport to Lierey's island. This could be a crazy game if he does that. Light cav upgrade is in. Hera hoping for... really hoping to pick off monks with this light cav. Really hoping to keep this TC alive. Has to delete the dock. He's actually got a fishing eco back here. That's really important. Lierey sees the siege. That's so good. A Hera. Oh! Hera loses his Mangonel. He doesn't have another siege workshop. Guys, Hera needs a forward castle at Lierey's base right now. That is the way. That is the only way back. I think. I mean, I just don't know what he does from this. The Bengali monks are so strong. He could barely produce light cav. If Hera could transport Vils and YOLO a castle somewhere, it'd be epic. This villager redocking is really important. Hera's fish will still keep bringing in some food for him. You could also build a castle to stabilize your own eco, which is maybe the more obvious play. But you're not going to gain back the rest of the map if you just drop it off here. Like, sometimes, you cut it off like the diseased limb. You get rid of the leg, and then you save the body. Here, you're cutting yourself off at the neck if you drop a castle here. Even ships coming in from Hera. He has to be careful with that. But maybe Lierey will use too many of his conversions on the ships. And, oh, God, more siege converted. Lierey's played this so well. He's got so many monks. He's got so many spears. And Hera's forced to just use villagers here. But you just cannot engage against this. How is Hera's TC still up? What is Hera's plan? He's going to drop a castle back there. That's so crazy. Hera's like, I got to get a castle. And if Lierey sees this, he's going to be like, it's your turn to have a Dow castle. Ah! Well, I mean, the castle might go up. But how many villagers are actually going to survive? Props to these guys for fighting back the very thing that's taken their land. Respect it. But, well, a lot of monks died. All the siege is gonna die. Maybe? Loom! Lierey hasn't had loom this whole time. What? He just realized because he went to click imp. His forward vills have no loom. He's stealing Hera's farms without loom. Crazy. I mean, that's why he converted so many vills, guys. Hera had loom. It's smart. Save the gold for later. All right, so now maybe this bad map for Lierey becomes an issue because he can't take stone unless he's up against this shoreline. Wait a second. Oh my God, his other stone's over here? That's brutal. Oh my God. And Hera is still alive. Like, resources collected is not looking great for him. But he's still in this. And he has Navy. And Lierey can't take stone. Well, he could take Hera's stone. I really don't think you necessarily need the stone. Right now, I think you mass lots of Navy. I am shocked, though, that he's going for fires instead of galleons here. But he could do both. He's got 8 docks. He could always open with fast fires. I'm actually not certain if Bengalis get fast fire. I thought they only got galleon, but I don't know. I just spam galleons in imp anyways, unless I'm Italians or something. Okay. Forward villagers are getting sniped by Lycav. They do have loom now. And Hera may be thinking that as imp could approach, that he needs to use his galleys around the back side. Forward TC from Lierey. I mean, Hera can't take 2 of his golds, guys. And he can't take this stone. But he is taking golden stone in the middle. Which I think was a big part of why he survived this game. This TC was huge. I think he built it with 4 villagers originally. This TC will go up for Lierey. And they do get fast fire. Okay. Hera has the Navy lead right now. But, like, he can't address this and, continue to fight Lierey on water at the same time. He shouldn't be able to. It's been an incredible fight. He's lost so much. It's been an incredible push from Lierey. Amazing that Hera has given himself some type of a shot here. It's rare that you say that the plus 200 wood from Dravidians in Imp is helpful. At this point, I think it's a pretty it's feeling pretty good. God, is this map just horrible. Oh man, is that painful for him. Actually becomes difficult for Lierey to get over here. And he needs to leave. Like, I get that the map sucks, but you gotta be on the other gold, I think, for the time being. He's really not getting fletching at all. Guys, I just don't think fast fire is great. I think Galleon's the way. And Hera's going that way. And If Hera can essentially deny all of this stone and gold, Lierey can never get a castle to protect anything. I'm okay with fast fire in like the early Imperial Age, and then transitioning into galleons. Hera is sitting in the choke point. This is what I mean. On different maps, it's a bit different. You can move around, spread your wings, and fly. Here, you're very much stuck in one spot. We've got heavy demo for Hera. Oof. That's surprising. Well, he sees a lot of fires, right? So it suits the situation. I want to look at Hera's point of view for a second. I mean, that's just something else. He's got this tiny little area. Now, he does have the fish. The fish brought in so much food for him this game. Yeah, we need to see upgrades that would benefit galleons here from Lierey. Otherwise, he's at risk of his fire ships just getting picked off by the galleons from Hera. Hera about to claw back some of his map. Hera can make one demo, and the galleons clean up the rest. Lierey trying to go cannon galleons, which is a great play. Our fast fire is the unit here. It's normally about that timing before there's a big galley mass, which Hera has. Hera will build a castle here now. This castle will go up. Lierey can't do too much about it. We see the engagement here. Heavy demo in front. Should be enough to scare Lierey off. And the cannon galleons, I mean, he's skipping steps here, guys. I can't tell you the last time I've seen fast fires into cannon galleons. It is almost always going to be fast fires into galleons. And Lierey's economy is fantastic. He has the superior economy. He's taken so much of Hera's gold, but he's not going for what I feel is the best unit comp. Though that does look really cool. That is the look of a player who has found out that maybe he needs to make a switch. He's going for ship right now. He's getting Bodkin. He'll go for Bracer. Here's the positive for Lierey. He did take gold from Hera's Island. Negative, obviously, Hera's got golden stone that he doesn't have. And his golden stone now very exposed and should get killed on the front. I love Lierey so much, and I love this game. And I love the fact that Hera's given himself an opportunity. But there is still a part of me that is relatively shocked we didn't see Galleon, simply because that felt so natural to me. Now, also, I make some pretty questionable decisions at times. But at least based on some of the other games we've seen, it felt like that was going to be the play here. Hera's still got Vils to kill over here, but he's taken all of his resources back. Big push coming from Lierey, though. I mean, again, still has 143 Vils. He's still got shipwright, which Hera didn't research. And if he can get up to a bigger galley mass than Hera with the cannon galleons, he wins this game. Galleon upgrade is deceivingly expensive. At least for me, every time I go to get it, I'm like, whoa, it's a lot of wood. There we go. There it is. Can you imagine if Hera transported Vils and Trebs right now to just start pressuring Lierey on land? He's going to bring one Treb. Lierey can build a castle somewhere. Oh, man, it takes so long for these units to get over here. That was funny. Hera micring the demo. All right, there's the Treb. You don't really need TCs anymore. You need control of the shoreline so you can take gold. We've got 28 galleons against 24. Bengali galleons do regenerate. The production is insane from Lierey. He also has fast fires, which I think may just get sniped. And Hera and Lierey meet here in the middle. You got to be very careful here because of those heavy demos here, Lierey. If Hera connects in the choke point, if he splits, if he gets in close enough, this could be devastating. The demos get close. The demos connect. They do get decent enough shots there, and Hera now has a little bit more time to breathe, but And there's a lot of action coming through this choke point. Also seems like there's some fast fire streaming in from this side. But there's the castle from Hera. And Lierey's going to build a castle next to a Treb. He can't defend from this. Lierey has to push the middle now. Lierey has to push the middle now. He's got 7 elite cannon galleons, which would be enough. And then suddenly, if Hera starts to lose all of his castles, Hera could start to lose all of his stone and gold control. And we could have a game where Lierey, like, loses his island, but Hera loses his. Sorry, my brain is loading the information. I think what I just said happens. I think what I just said happens, guys. I mean, we'll see. But I think Lierey's going to win water. I think Hera has got to hold on for his dear life. Lierey's got to hold on for his dear life. Again, Lierey still can't take gold and stone. Hera's going to run out of stone, so his castle will fall. These castles will then be standing and also fall in time, and pretty quickly, actually. Here, at least, what I like is that Lierey actually dropped this castle and made a Treb. The castle on paper underneath the trebuchet didn't feel correct in the moment for me. But if he could just, as he has Hera's distracted, take this out, yeah, he's got the cannon galleons. It's actually not bad. Lierey continues to mix in fast fires with the galleons. It's kind of bothering me. But, I mean, in small moments, in small fights, it can be good. I'm just thinking, what if he had 50 galleons right now? They range the shoreline. They just destroy everything. Mix isn't necessarily bad, though. Man, these cannon galleons are sick. They've dealt 16,000 damage already. Middle area, Hera was able to take a lot of resources, and now he still has left, like he didn't save these resources for later because it wasn't his goal, it wasn't his plan. Oh man, here we go. Now Hera's going to need to shift some demos in front here. The cannon galleons should still keep taking down docks and taking down castles. The docks are getting one-shotted by the cannon galleons. Wow. Wow. Guys, Hera doesn't have the navy to keep up with this. He's kind of surrounded a little bit here. He's stuck. His TC will go down. His vills are going to be exposed. And Lierey's going to win this game. Don't ask me how. Well, how he did it was all the chaos in Castle Age and the big economy he got while doing that. I don't know how Hera wasn't dead 20 minutes ago. Is he dead now? Well, he's got a sneak stable. It might be the worst civilization to sneak a stable up with in desperate times, though. Oh, yay, a Dravidian stable. I mean, he could try Lightcap, but Hera's lost all of his navy. He's going to lose the TC and the vills in the middle. Nothing to stop Lierey from coming to the middle. What a crazy game. You cannot make knights with the Dravidians. You would have to go for an elephant. Hera's now thinking like, well, maybe I have golden stone again, but he doesn't have his docks, guys. He's trying to redock and trying to get his navy up. He's got 9 docks. Lierey has 17. So if Lierey is producing all the time, Lierey will overtake in production. And now Lierey comes to the middle to take the gold. Hera's going to fight on because it's an important game for him. I mean, it really felt like he was dead. Then it felt like it was going to be a miraculous comeback. There's the elephant raid hype. But it will... all the odds are stacked against him right now. I think he might even have big population space problems with the amount of houses and castles that are going to go down. Dang. Elephant's still going to work, actually. And the GG's called. Lierey is not done yet. Again, the same thing that he did against Andy, he could maybe do against Hera here. He's got 2 wins now. Hera up 3-2. It's been a really, really good fight. I'm going to say this about Lierey, okay? There's an aspect to Lierey's play so far, not during this series, but just in Warlords 3 as a whole, that I am not quite used to. And it's got its pros and cons, okay? It's not as clean as like Lierey in the past. But sometimes he just sends it, right? He just goes for it. He just commits, right? Usually, like, Lierey 2 years ago, I'm like, okay, he's got the perfect crossbow timing. It was technical, it was sound, it was perfect, it was clean. Lierey he knows how to YOLO now. And he knows how, like, and I think it's during the pressure moments, right? Because it's harder to really be perfect and clean in the pressure moments in a tourney. That's where you just have to stick to the core of the strategy. And the core of the strategy was really solid here. I was concerned, but maybe more so than I needed to be. And my concern for Lierey was because I thought he played well enough to win this game, and I thought he was going to throw it for a period of time there. Also, how was Hera alive? How did we have that game go to Imp? How did both players get shipwright? Look at the resources collected. Took some really good fights at various points. But, yeah, what a game. What a game. Great stuff there from Hera. Great stuff from Lierey. Hera's going to be happy that he has some home maps remaining. And we'll probably go to that next. But if Lierey can snag one more win, we get a game 7 between these two. Game number 6. Big quarterfinal series, guys. And not the picks that I expected. I thought Hera would maybe consider to go Berbers for the faster villagers, because there's boars everywhere out here. Now, this can oftentimes become a lame fest as players try and bring in as many boars as possible. Look at the timings from Hera. He actually started to bring in 2 separate boars with 2 separate villagers before his TC was up. This is Hera's home map. You would expect that this was practiced and very well executed from him here. Over here, Lierey doing the same thing, weakening 2 boars, and now has 2 boars underneath his TC. All right, so here's the big thing you need to know about this map, because it's really annoying. These are trees, okay? So pay attention to that. These are actually trees. It's easy to think that they're just TC'd in the middle of nowhere. And then the important thing long-term, in my opinion, which like no one does, is expanding towards the corner. I love that Hera's done that. You usually have golds next to the wood line, and that's the main thing you want, is actually just a safe wood line. So I think Lierey is also heading out to lumber camp there. I have not seen anyone do that so far in this tournament. It's interesting both players are doing that. And I think if you're creative and you think about walls, you could get pretty greedy and be pretty safe. But okay, this is where it becomes problematic to bring in some of these boars. Is it just me, or are these boars way closer to Lierey? See how many he has? He's going to get 2 now. I guess Lierey's TC is closer to the middle, though, so that's probably the biggest part. But 4 boars with Burmese. And Lierey let that boar walk away. Okay. I don't know. Maybe Hera's not going to be interested in taking the risk there. The other day, players lost vills when they did that. Yeah. Nice job from Lierey to see this. I think we're going to see a fast feudal from Lierey, though. He's already building a mill. He doesn't necessarily need this deer. I think he just needs the second building. Then he will click up. Someone says, T90 official, I'm watching at 130p on Twitch due to crappy hotel Wi-Fi. Still here, though. Casting will help me watch. Oh my god, there's wolves attacking Hera's TC, and the TC's down. I wonder if he could see it. What if it's so blurry he thinks this is happening? Oh my goodness, we're going to a game 7. Sorry. Hera's going to click up as well, but I think he forgot a building. Right? He has the lumber camp. He doesn't have a mining camp or a mill yet. He has scouted thoroughly over here and is probably thinking the mill over here makes sense. But if he was intending to go fast up, he forgot the building, which I frequently do in situations where I have a ton of food. Because usually in a normal game, you kind of need to plan on this. In this game, this mill is 60% of the reason you're doing this is just so you get the building. If Lierey is aggressive here with something that could do some real damage, that could be something Hera regrets. I don't think this is a fast castle from Hera. At least, hold on. I think, and we'll see. If Hera wins, there will be a winner's interview, obviously. It wouldn't surprise me if his original plan was to go fast feudal, but because he knows he's delayed, he's now trying some type of a fast castle. That's what it feels like to me. Because he unqueued Vils, and he went to click up, and then he realized, and at least I believe, decided to change plans. What does Lierey see? What has he scouted here? Not a lot, actually. His horse is scouting his own base, which obviously makes sense. Adding a couple scouts could be good here. Hera's berries, kind of the toughest spot for him. But beyond that, I mean, the wood and the gold is pretty snug. But he's going to need farms too. If he had one more board, it'd probably feel a whole lot more smooth for him. Guys, I think Lierey could be in a pretty decent position here, provided Hera can't have the smoothest fast castle. And I don't think it's going to be a very smooth fast castle. I mean, he's Saracen, so he can buy and sell resources, but I'm not looking at his res right now with no food underneath the TC and feeling like this is necessarily the best of situations for him. Hera not even choosing to wall this in. I think he's just going to build over here. That would make sense. The scouting is so critical in these situations. And Hera scouted the stable. Like, you have to be on top of it, guys. No auto-scouting here. It's kind of funny. What I didn't talk about a lot is how there's the forward house from Lierey. Quick, fast castle, town patrol. Yeah, Lierey sees this, and he also sees the uptime and knows what Hera's going to be up to here. For me, he's got the extra attack on the spears, so he's trying to block, and Hera's trying to save his villager with his horse. Actually, he's kind of hurt himself here. Oh, no! Oink! Got him! Lierey misclicked a couple times there, but did kill the villager. I think he'll be happy with that. I don't think he'll be happy with the fact he lost the scout, though. Nice job from Hera to at least make that more difficult. Hera, I know you're obsessed with TCs, bro. But you have to do it. All right? Hera, sell the stone. That's what I'm talking about. He doesn't want to. You gotta do it, dude. You don't have the resources. You've got to do it. And then you can click up. Nope, he's selling his food. Hera? Sell the stone. You could just buy it back later. Uh-oh. Trap. That was nice. There's still a gap here, though. More spearmen, more scouts could maybe come in. There's no more scouts from Lierey. Look at Lierey's eco on the back of eco upgrades, which Hera doesn't have, by the way. Really smooth. I'm baffled Hera's not selling stone. It's not expensive. There we go. Now he sells some. It's really not expensive to buy more of them. Or to buy more stone. So, reminder, it doesn't look like Hera's fully walled if you're watching at 130p or whatever that dude is, but he is walled to here at least. It just looks like this is grass. Those are actually reeds. The stable from Hera probably means if he thinks he needs them camels, I would actually like to see him go for knights because Lierey's base is open. And Lierey also uses a market, and Lierey also clicks up. Resources collected should be better here for Lierey. He's had the wood upgrade, and will also get the Castle Age wood upgrade for free. If I had any control over this tournament, I would request that the map scripter change these reeds to another tree that was at 50 wood. Or make it... change it visually in some way. It is still very trippy. This is going to be a push from Lierey. At least that's what it seems like. I don't hate it. Burmese are really good with monks and siege. I do hate opening with monks if you don't have spears and protection, though. And obviously he agrees, because he's adding the spears. Well, if you use a pine tree mod that changes all the trees to pine trees, you fail to remember the fact that this is 50 wood instead of 100. So it is actually important that this is a reed. It's kind of funny, but after, you know, many years, you just kind of get used to certain types of trees having different amounts of wood, like baobab trees, for example, on the like African style maps. They have 150 wood. I think acacia also has 150 wood. Hera goes for scouts for map control. And Hera is dropping TC number 2 and TC number 3. He's just going to straight greed it. And Lierey is here with double monastery. Oh, boy. So Hera can do no damage to his opponent. Nor is he really planning on it. And he also doesn't know about this. Now, deer have a tendency to snitch on forwards. And I doubt that Hera's looking here right now. But actually, this spear and some deer movement right there. You see that? That would make me... I think Hera might actually notice that. The spear is the snitch. I think attacking that made Hera look over here. And when the deer move, you know there's some unit movement. Maybe checked over here. Maybe he's just doing his due diligence to check over here. I also could be wrong. He might not see the deer move at all. And no, he doesn't see the deer move. It's just one, maybe it's just one of those things the caster notices. I will say, I have been paranoid by random deer movements more than I have noticed an opponent's attack because of deer movements. I would be, like, the deer would just move randomly because, you know, they do that sometimes. And I'd be like, oh, he's forwarding me. I got him figured out. And then I prep light cav and he's just not there. So. So did he get redemption? Did he get redemption? Oh, that's Hera. I'm stupid. Sorry. He did get redemption. Okay. He goes early redemption. Burmese have cheap monk technologies, and he's going to go in, and he's going to start to convert Hera's stable here and the market. I love this so much. Oh, no. Guys, we have nightmares about this as players. You don't understand. This is a horrifying experience for Hera now, and he's forced to delete the stable and delete the market, and he's going to have to delete 3 houses. The fact that he didn't know about this is so horrible for him, and now Lierey's going to go for siege as well. And the way you try and counter this is realistically to try and snipe the monks, but now there's pikemen there. And you could also go for your own monks to possibly try and get atonement and convert the enemy monks, but Lierey should never fall for that because he's got cheap monk technologies available with the Burmese. So he can actually go for atonement right now. Does need to understand what Hera's options are and see what Hera's going to go for. That's Hera's attempt, by the way, is atonement. Hera's going to be housed. He's going to run out of spaces for house too, and now the TC started to be pushed. What a strategy. By the way, this eco is pretty good for Lierey. This is not, you know, your average clown game where they're not looking at home at all. Now, it's harder to manage it, and he's 15 vills behind, so he has to push, but this is pretty incredible. And it's kind of the dream scenario for the Burmese and their bonuses. The nice thing for Hera is he does have a lot of vills on gold. Has to be atonement next from Lierey. If he sees monks, the first thing you do is you go for atonement. And he is doing it. It's weird that the push from Lierey's on the left side of the scoreboard. Would you guys... would it be fine if I swapped the scoreboard right now and had Lierey on the left and Hera on the right? It's confusing me. I actually forget the hotkey to do that, to be honest, so I'm not sure I could actually offer that. Devotion now. You need devotion in Monk Wars. Lierey getting devotion. Hera's now going for redemption, so he can convert the siege as well. There's a lot of things happening here, but no devotion yet for Hera, I think. Chat, if you remember the hotkey, please somebody tell me. Somebody save me. I want to do it. I'm going to do it, guys. This is crazy. Will we get a game 7 here? Hera realizes Atonement is in. Hera has the light cap for the monks, so if the spears ever venture too far and into the TC... Okay, people are saying things. I do not trust people. Is it Alt-S? Aha! That person's trustworthy. Here we go. This makes so much more sense. Monks switch sides! There's like no monks left for Hera anymore, but the pikemen switch sides too. And Hera absolutely has an opportunity if he clears out these monks. Oh man, he's also trying to rush this down, and the push is falling apart. The pikemen are out of position. 2 mangonels down. Most of the monks down here for Lierey. Hera still has the villager lead. And this push has kind of been killed off. Now, it's not game over. There's still going to be plenty more here, but that was good for Hera in the end. Man, it's been like... I've noticed that Lierey always gets the pike numbers to seemingly control these types of pushes. And he does seem to struggle a little bit with actually managing to keep his monks in siege alive. That was kind of my impression in other games this series. It's not a push you would normally think about with Lierey. And we're talking Burmese pikemen here. And Hera actually clears it up. Oh, man. Hera still on 3 TCs. He never lost a TC. And the individual monks just keep popping out. The pikes aren't being produced fast enough from home to get here. A forward barracks might have been needed. And Hera's fine. 70 bills versus 60. Nice defense from Hera. Again, it made it look easy. To go for the early monastery play, to out-monk the monk, combined with light cav, was the perfect move. Now, this is where it's nice for Lierey that he's going to be on 3 TCs. Like, that wasn't everything for him. What's going to hurt is he's going to start losing houses. Guys, he's got 13 houses here. Hera is going to reclaim his houses. Potentially claim the siege workshop. And potentially claim the mangonel. And yeah, I mean, it actually feels like a situation where... Oh, he hops out. Oh, Hera noticed, though. Monk switches to Lierey. Monk switches for Hera. And now the great house crisis begins for Lierey. And Hera's going to be here for quite some time. I mean, listen. I want to see a stable from Lierey. He already had one before. There he's going to drop a second one, apparently. There's no pikemen on the field for Hera. So a couple light cav out here could potentially do something. There's the light cav upgrade. There are 4 TCs. 4 TCs, never lost his original TC. Such good defense from him. Which is really, like, if you were to say, like, what separates Hera from the rest, I think consistency's fair, honestly. Like, Hera, I think that is maybe his greatest attribute, but defense is really his thing. Really good defense. Has the ability to turn it up a notch and be aggressive, too. But usually, it's something like this. Defense. No matter what you send at him, he defends just well enough, and then the eco is flying to the point where he could take you to the late game, right? I wasn't kidding when I said Lierey is going to have house problems. He's housed. This is horrible. Look at his population, guys. He can't produce anything. He can't produce bills, and he can't produce light cav. Okay, he just produced a bunch more houses. He's building them everywhere. I'm going to need to rewatch that fight, regardless of who wins this game. Oh my god, sorry. Because I could have sworn that on paper, Lierey had the better situation. And then somehow he lost that position. I'm still confused. There were so many pikes, but the pikes, I think, were attacking Hera's monks instead of defending his own monks. And Hera's now lurking. And Hera's on the way to the Imperial Age. And like Cav I loved a couple minutes ago, when you see Hera's on the way to Imp and Hera's progressed this far, it does make you think, is Lierey going to have the timing to really do anything here? Hera's going to drop ranges Arbalest would make a lot of sense here. And Lierey, he knows if he loses this game, he's out of the tournament. He's going to try and make things interesting, people. And he's running forward. His Lycav swoop in. Kill the monks. Hera's never made a camel this game. He never made he never made a pikeman. He only converted pikemen. Hera's losing all of his monks. Here comes Lierey. He's going to drop a castle here. And it's really hard to find a spot to drop a castle because of the reeds. He's going to kill these monks. Really needs to protect his villagers. And Hera should build a stone wall piece there. Or a house or something. Just block this. Until he can get some archers over here. So Lierey went forward with 8 villagers before. He's got 8 villagers now. Not a great sign. I mean, they're not all building either. I think some of them are on top of each other. I don't exactly know how. I'm only seeing 5 of them. If this castle goes up, this could be amazing. He's bringing more vills. Like, genuinely a good castle if it goes up, but it's not going to go up. Lierey knew he was behind. He knew he'd seeded something more. And before you guys freak out, all right? Before you freak out, because people are going to say, oh my God, Hera G'd. I'm going to go back into the actual game, all right? Because I know how you guys are. And you could see the chat here. There you go. GG's well played, all right? He just mistyped there. What a performance from Hera. Who for me was expected to win today, but man, did Hera have to fight hard against how Lierey played this. I need to look back before we really sum up the series and before we really sum up, this game. I got to go back, man, because that fight is still so confusing for me. I'm just not seeing a world where Hera should ever get out of this one, right? We've got 5 monks with devotion, by the way. So when it's going for conversion wars, he should be ahead. He's got Burmese pikemen in front. And so what the engagement begins here, right? And Hera converts the pikes. And I'm guessing the pikes just stay here. Yeah, it was just like Hera converted some pikes and the pikes ran too far. Instead of pulling the pikemen back to sit next to the monks, they ran in. But I mean, credit to Hera to get the conversions, to also start to make it messy here and bring the vills, then go in with the Lycav. There's just a lot of things there that I guess Lierey needed to focus on. And this was just a really costly push. Losing all of this really just lost in the game, unfortunately. I thought it was a good performance from Lierey today. Hera, I think, just too complete of a player to lose 4 games right now. And we'll see what happens when he moves into the semifinals. But great performance and a really fun series. After game 1, I was really concerned. Game 2, I was actually really concerned. But Lierey really stepped it up. Brought a high level. I think you just need a greater sense of consistency from game to game. And a greater ability to punish Hera if Hera has been sitting on a couple town centers. As seems to be the way that he wins.